Like
Girl
a
last
frog.
night said, "Hit the button."
Hit the button.
Too bad you couldn't find it, D.
Hey, D-Batch, I hit the button. And we're actually live right now. And the chat is about to... It's scrolling so fast, it ripped part of my screen off of the... Yeah. Calm down, guys. We're live. We got almost 300 people watching already. We appreciate it. You're the best. I've said it 1,000 times. I'm getting a phone call. That's Lana Del Rey. All right, so for one, Fonzarelli's going to be a little bit late. Tim Dog actually had something come up, and we do have Fonz coming in, and we've got the always spectacular one. We'll get to him in a minute, but we got to start with some intros. We got a ton of news regarding the Series X, or the PS5, new games, and so much more. Thank you guys for joining us. Colt Eastwood, how are you been, bud? It's another week, another show, first show of 2020.
Yeah, we're out of the holidays, and I've been playing Toss a Coin to Your Witcher.
Sound like you got some coal for Christmas, man.
No, it's been good. Yeah, good to do the show. A lot of stuff to talk about because of yesterday.
Yeah, exactly. D-Batch, and welcome back, brother.
What's up? What's up, man? We got a lot of juicy news to talk about. I'm really excited to get into the show. It's a new decade. Let's go.
Yeah, everyone's very efficient tonight. Have you guys noticed? Hey, Zalker, how have you been, buddy?
I'm doing really good. I am still in awe at what Sony showed yesterday.
Hang on, don't spoil the surprise.
I'm sorry. Oh, shit, my bad. I'm doing really good, man. You know, like Colt said, the holidays are done. You know, we're getting back in the groove of what's regular, I guess. Regular week, and happy to talk about all these amazing logos, topics. I mean, good job. Good time.
That's just fire. Woomy Hood, thanks for coming on, buddy. I'm glad you're here. I need another person that lives in the Midwest around here because just not really happening that much on the show. What's the deal with that?
I have no idea, dude, but I'm in the South.
You know what? I wanted to forget about that. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
You couldn't tell on my New Jersey accent. I got you.
No, how you been, brother?
Oh, man, I finally got into a few games over the holiday. I took 3 weeks off from YouTube, finished up. Oh my God, like 8 different games, and now I am stuck in Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Lethal Papa and Obi warned me about the game. I've got like 75 hours into this thing already.
Oh, they warned you about the game?
They told me about it.
I'm almost offended. We've sold so many copies of Odyssey, it's not even funny.
Well, I mean, yeah, but
I'm kidding, obviously. Yeah, but thanks for joining us, man. We should have a pretty interesting. I hope you're ready to talk about font colors and sizes and different.
I'm hyped, man. I'm like Zalker, dude. I want to talk about fucking logos. Yeah. I'm pumped. I'm excited.
I'm gonna build my own logos after this and try to replicate the one they stole off of Google. So let's go ahead and get into this. We'll give some shout outs. Just so you're curious, just if you're curious, this is obviously Gears 5. Colt and I running back through the campaign, and if only this live stream did it justice, but we'll have to work with it. At least it's 60 FPS, right? Let me get into the. I could have swore I had that pulled up already. In the meantime, shout out to everybody joining us. You guys are fantastic. You make the show what it is. It would be nothing if not for you. And of course, these people. Let me give a shout out to Johnny Virtuous. We got Foreign Object, Teo, John Blue, Darth Chaos, The Bad Boy Live. He's actually working on some music for me to sample here for the channel. It's awesome. Beck Boss, Deviator X. I wish you would change your name on everything else, Deviator. It'd be a lot less confusing. Obi-Wan FTW. We've also got Tasteless Genie, Scout Trooper 74, Centurion 1307 of Real, LegionofGamer.com, Real Deal Neil. We've also got Suicide King, Michael Brown, or Michael Bowen, my bad. I used to accidentally call you Michael Brown. Guillermo Cabillo, Chanogram. We've also got Fork Boy. I need to have Fork Boy in here, actually. Naughty Nubbin, Alfonso Hogan, A Squad Gaming. Shout out to him. Slim Killer, or Slim 73. I think you changed his name. Mo Cool Kid. I'm having a really, really bad memory today. And also, guys, just so you know, check the site after the show. I'm going to post another giveaway there. We'll give away some new games. And I'll be asking you guys what you want to, what kind of games you want to win. So just stay tuned. The link's down below. CES News. We got a lot of stuff coming off of out of that event. And I had made a tweet before the event, the calm before CES, regarding all news and all brands. Yet I'm hyping the Xbox side of CES, right? So Sony revealing the PlayStation 5, all of its specs and some games, and none of that but a logo. What do you guys... Wilmy, when you saw the PS5 logo, what were your thoughts? Because that's the thing. That's all they showed.
I knew you were going to come to me first. I was enthralled, man. I mean, I know Xbox showed the Series X during the Game Awards, but I mean, dealer, there's just something about that logo, man. It got me excited.
You know what it is, man? I think what it was that got you excited about when that logo was showing up was all the people standing up. Oh my God, they're going to take a picture. They're all getting ready. They're getting their phones in there. It's just a logo.
Yeah, I mean, you know, this was hyped up by a lot of YouTubers yesterday and a lot of people on Twitter.
A lot of fake neutrals out there. And we weren't excited at all. Streaming like for 14 hours waiting for this thing.
Yep, and then all of them got copyright strikes against their YouTube channel. And
Sony said, no, bitch.
It was basically, it was the ultimate trolling by Sony. I mean, they played a fanboy move. The only thing they showed was sales and a logo.
Wow.
And you know, the sales thing, like when they put that whole thing up there, it's like, okay, cool. Like, cool, we know this already. It's done. Stop. Like, it's boring. It's fucking boring. No one cares.
They want you to clap for them, Zalker.
I don't care.
Now clap, dog.
Because you sold something. I don't care. Like,
Everybody in chat, golf clap. Let's do it.
fucking, yeah, a bunch of fucking seals out there. Like, fucking clap. I don't care. Like, I don't need to see that anymore. Like, honestly, like, that's, and there were people that were hyped for this, right? Like Wilmy said, there were people that were like, hey, maybe they will.
Oh yeah. I got a lot of, you know, messages yesterday going, well, man, you know, I've seen all these tweets you've been putting online, man. You just wait. PlayStation's coming on stage tonight, man. Like,
You just wait.
Yeah, I mean, and they did say that, right? They're like, just wait, it's happening. And then they were like, well, now, you know, of course they didn't show it. I mean, they need their own event. That's how big they are.
And then,
it's like, what?
And then by 7 a.m. this morning, they were on social media going, oh, I wasn't pumped, man. Yeah, no. I wasn't saying all that. Really? Okay.
And don't get me wrong. We're not saying this to like hate. Like, we actually want to see the hardware. We want to see what they're doing because that's exciting for everybody in chat. Everybody in chat actually does care to see this shit. Like, they do. The people are like, hey, I want to see what Sony's doing. Of course you do. And everybody wants to see what Xbox is doing.
Oh, yeah. Because
we don't want to see a fucking logo that looks the same. Like, we don't care.
Exactly. I'm gonna buy the PS5 when it releases anyway. So I mean, I'm curious as what's going on inside that box.
Well, I mean, what do you mean? You weren't excited to see the PNG that Sony went to Google and got?
No, and you know, I got it on good word, you know, from Colt Eastwood. That probably took, you know, at least 300 hours to design.
Minimum.
You know,
They had to do like an emboss and shit on there and make it all shit, you know.
No, it was.
I mean,
flat logo.
No,
they had to probably.
Oh, I saw one on Google like 8 months ago to look way better than that one. Maybe that guy.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. You know, Colt actually made, you know, something for me that we put on race cars that we sponsor, and I don't think it took as long as that PS5 logo.
Yeah, but somebody had to lick that vinyl and stick it on the car.
Yeah, but I mean,
at least that's how
I don't know how much that guy got paid to do that. Seriously, though.
Well, I'm not even.
Didn't they do like a test run, like you know, get a few people in the room and have Jim Ryan turn and go click on his little PowerPoint presentation thing and bring that logo up and see if people would be excited about that, because that wasn't exciting.
Yeah, who was involved in this? That's my question. If that was the most exciting thing you've seen since 2019, 2018, probably need to get out of the fucking house once.
It actually would have been cool if they wouldn't have said like 8 months ago that they admitted it was going to be called the PS5. Like that was actually a press release or some kind of like media outlet where they said that it would be called the PlayStation 5 instead of saying the next PlayStation. But we already knew it was going to be called the PS5.
Shout out to all the people in the chat, by the way. Xbox One Master, Shinsai, all you guys, J-Mo, Ron Hale, Timothy Clark, Adam. You know what, Adam? Adam making fun of me earlier for not being able to pronounce his name. It's, how would you pronounce this, Colt? Opatrny. Opatrny. I don't know how to pronounce it, Adam. That's like the question. Wait, D? You had the magic answer?
If I got it right, Adam Opatrny, let me know.
That shit is just, it doesn't roll off the
legit.
Doesn't roll off the tongue.
I'll give it a go.
Go ahead, woman.
Apple tree?
Opatrny.
Old potteries.
Oh, patronize me.
You guys stop it.
All right, well, shout out to you, Adam. I mean, I'm trying.
Now his great grandpa's in his grave going, oh gosh, I can't.
I should have never named him this.
His great grandpa's sitting there going, Xbox.
Hey, no, shout out to Adam though. Seriously, Noof. By the way, if you want to join us, bud, we ain't had you. I'm just now seeing your thing in the chat here, man. If you want to join, just send me a DM on Twitter, and I will send you the link to the Discord.
This is a really great question for you, dealer.
Mm-hmm.
Lone Star in the chat says, is it true Xbox had to increase the die size to do ray tracing hardware while Sony has a dedicated chip for ray tracing and smaller GPU?
Is it true
Different
that
purpose.
nobody knows any of that for sure? And that's a rumor literally started by fanboys, pretty much? No, that's the thing, though.
could be.
For the lowest latency possible, you would want your ray tracing literally on the same chip as the rest of your graphics are coming from, right? So think about that. I don't think Sony have invested more in the GPU in any area than Microsoft, but we will see. Let's see here. New member for the channel, and it's fucking A Squad Gaming managing to pop up into our hearts and souls once again. Always welcome, A Squad. Always welcome. Seriously. I know that Guillermo, here we go. Guillermo, shout out to you, brother. He says, let's get ready. God damn it. Let's get ready for the show. And of course, shout out to the panel and the chat. Thank you so much, Guillermo. Thank you very much. So yeah, CES 2020, there was a lot of great news, as I kind of hinted at in the tweet. But there's a reason I dropped the tweet when I did. If you think about it, it really makes sense. It was about 10 minutes for the chip picture thingy, right? And that was the big news. We'll talk about that. But other than Sony and Xbox, AMD had a ton of really big news, as D would love to talk about while covered in mayonnaise. We just can't do it today. But what are the highlights, D? I mean, Threadripper 3, they had a new 57 RDX, but in terms of the high-end GPUs, they really didn't go all out on that right now, did they?
No, they didn't. So yeah, we did get I believe it was a 3999, 3990X, whatever. The Threadripper, 64 core CPU. It's fucking amazing. It's more for like, the Hollywood people. But it decimates the competition. Like at this point, it's just sad to see what's happening to Intel. Like they took two of their top chips and pitted them against their new Threadripper and still got destroyed. So and
D, I
for
know
a
you're
fraction
enjoying
of
this.
the price. Like it's $2,000 for Intel's equivalent, $4,000 for AMD's they're competing.
I know you're enjoying this though, D. I remember the days when AMD was using rocks and dirt and shit as their CPUs, and you were like, ah! And now you're loving it. You gotta be.
Trust me. I'm just waiting for them to go head to head against Nvidia. It's time for Nvidia to get that ass kicked.
Oh shit!
Like Nvidia, hey, don't get me wrong. Nvidia makes great products. I like their products. They make great products, but because they have no competition, their prices are sky high.
That's what we were telling people, man. People's like, has so much power and it costs $1 billion. And it's like, you guys understand there's no competition up there, right?
Yeah. So AMD has gone on record saying that they will be challenging for the top end GPUs, but unfortunately, we didn't hear anything about the RDNA 2 GPUs. They just gave us the 5600 XT, which is good for 1080p gamers. It competes against the 1660 Ti and it beats it. So it's good for that segment of the market. And most PC gamers, contrary to what they want you to believe, they play at 1080p resolution.
Zoc, are you okay back there, buddy?
I thought I muted my mic. I'm choking.
Okay. Well, you didn't.
You okay?
I kind of like that choke cough a little bit. So it's nice.
Yeah, but for those of you that were waiting for RDNA, I think we're going to get that announcement maybe in May, June, quite possibly E3. That's when we're going to hear about that. And I think after we hear that announcement, that's when we're probably going to get even more information on these consoles.
When I cough, I just cough right into the mic like a man.
You know what? He's trying to educate you, dealer. If you could just be nice, please.
That was nice. I gave D-Patch solid time there. I did. D-Patch is one of my best friends. I went to his house for Christmas.
I'm back. Did
you see the Alienware handheld?
Yes, I did. Yes.
Oh, that got my attention.
Was it just like a PC with a screen glued to it? What was it?
It's kind of like Alienware's version of a Switch.
Yeah. But
it's called the
PC
bitch
components. There we go. Well, I was a little bit disappointed from AMD's show, to be honest with you. I wanted them to show a little bit more. Like it was okay. Like the mobile processors were pretty cool. 15-watt, 8-core, 16-thread CPUs, 45-watt, 18-core, 16-thread CPUs.
And you're getting some of these 16-thread CPUs and laptops and stuff now too, like legitimate 7-nanometer process and all that stuff.
Yeah,
it's cool. It's cool for the future, but in terms of console, there wasn't too much.
Yeah. But I do think though, as I did say in my video, I did a video today on this, some of the subjects. Anyways, I do believe that the mobile processors that we saw at CES, we're gonna see some iteration of that in the console. So I'm really excited. 45 watts, come on, that's fucking ridiculous.
That's pretty spectacular. Hey, I gotta give a shout out 1 second. I want to go to Colt real quick, but we got to give a shout out to almost 1,000 people watching live already. Thank you guys so much for what you do. Let's try to get to 400 or 500 likes for the show. 1,000 after the fact. Of course, share this out. Help us out a little bit. You guys are the best in the universe. And Ashtray, if my fucking thing would stop doing this. Ashtray says, oh my God, Ash. It says Ashtray just. Ashtray says Sony keep fumbling the ball.
Shit.
Great show so far. So the logo thing, Ashtray ain't feeling it. He thought that was a big L. A lot of people were hyped for that. They did say get a glimpse of the future. I guess they literally meant the fucking logo. I guess so. I mean, I guess that's it.
Well, Paul Tassi said the same thing. He said that the Xbox Series X was an Olympic high dive. The PlayStation CES was a slip into the pool, into the hot tub or something like that.
Kid Smooth wants an invite too. Kid Smooth, if you want to come on, hit me up on a link, brother. I don't know.
I thought it was disappointing that they showed that because at the very least, like we knew we weren't going to get a full PlayStation 5 reveal. Like everybody pretty knew that, but we thought we'd get at least a little tidbits. Seeing how Microsoft's, shot their first shot at the Game Awards, revealing the Xbox Series X the way it looks, at least. I thought, they'd show us something, maybe a game running on their TV or fuck, I don't know, or even PSVR 2.
Hang on, I gotta give a shout out. I gotta give a shout out to Failed Pyromancer real quick. He's a good guy, but obviously damage controlling a little bit in the chat. He says the logo was great. Pyromancer, where's my praise? I showed you that logo a year ago. Come on,
I have that logo. I have that logo on a video with over 3 million views.
Yeah, so, I think more people have seen Colt's PS5 logo than Sony's.
That logo proves, dealer, that the PS5 is going to have 200 teraflops. Don't forget.
Well, Corey Pohl in the super chat says big slot in the back of the Series X. Well, that is not the back of the Series X, by the way, Corey, and I'll just kind of update it now, is actually not accurate. Microsoft reached out and said that's not what the back of the console looks like. We have more to say on that later. AMD hired a third company to make that render. They didn't even make it themselves. So that has been debunked.
Brad Sams has something new on that. So when we get to that, I'll bring up what Brad Sams has.
Yep.
Wasn't there like a rumor that Corey Barlog was at this event? Like, and it was like hyped up and like, why is
wasn't a rumor? He said it himself that he was going to be there today.
Yeah. So like, what did he do there?
He ate popcorn.
So he just chilled. Like nothing fucking happened, right? Like
you went to sign a contract with Microsoft.
You want to sign a contract with Microsoft?
Hang on, Fonzarelli's here. Fonz, welcome.
Fonzie?
Yeah, he did what everybody else does at CES every year. Go look at the brand new TVs coming out. That's what most people do at CES nowadays. Yeah, we like to hear the AMD tech stuff and stuff. Some of you guys like to hear that anyway. But CES really isn't the place to reveal a console. Never has been. So, like I said on last show, it wasn't going to happen. I thought they would be revealing more like technical stuff, maybe about VR or whatever, but not a reveal for a console. So, you can't shape this any way other than a big fat L for those guys that were live streaming this, thinking that it was a big reveal for the PS5. I'm sorry, you take a huge L on this. You can't spin it. You can't.
Hey, I got to give Anthony Owens. I just read your message on Twitter, brother. He basically wants to double down and get full clarification on what's happening with the backwards compatibility of the next Xbox. Yes, 100%. Microsoft, Phil, all those guys have talked about wanting every one of your purchases available day one, as well as having all of your controllers work, all of your headsets work. Everything will work. So that's what they want. They want a fluid, across the board experience that is cohesive as possible. I hope that answers your question, brother. Thank you so much, man, for what you do here. And we've got a million super chats of stuff here, and it's going to be very hard to get rid of them or get to them without completely crushing the tempo of the show right now. So maybe I can get to them as I go.
Hey, that DeMillo7 in the chat said, Fonz, you're wrong. They revealed the first Xbox at CES. Traditionally, CES is not about console reveals. Never has been. It's just they did it then, but it just hasn't happened since.
Well, traditionally, you don't reveal a console at the Game Awards, so anything can happen.
Yeah, that's true.
A lot of people were expecting Sony to have to. They were kind of backed into a corner. They needed to reveal at their next event, which was CES, and they didn't. So everyone was live streaming for a reason.
Way, but if you look at it that way, then they still took a big L for what they did. You might as well have not even talked about. Ridiculous to even go up there and mention Jim Ryan coming out with a bad bedhead and everything. Shouldn't even have been up there.
He's like, fuck, this hair's falling out.
I mean, he did look like he looked like a broke ass Sting. Let's be honest. But he was up there, you know, talking about the PS5, and then he has the audacity to say, "And we have today the first time we're going to show the logo." And I'm like, "What? Who was waiting for that? Nobody." And nobody was surprised at the logo. It looks like every other place.
There's some font extremists and very, you know, excited.
Honestly,
I don't know. No one was looking forward to it. Fonts, you're right.
Honestly, the worst thing is that this is the first time they've been on stage in a fucking year and a half. Like, they haven't shown anything, right? They didn't go to E3. They had no shows, PSX, nothing. And it's like, you go on stage and as Jim Ryan the first time or whatever the hell it is, you're going to go up there and all you have to show is a fucking logo. Like, that's just freaking terrible. Like, I don't care. Like, yeah, we're all looking forward to it, but come on, man. Like, if anybody else, like, I don't know, man. It's just weird.
Yeah, the logo was just bizarre.
Y'all's a bunch of haters.
If you're gonna show the logo, show the console right after it. Like, what's the fucking point?
It was the most anticlimactic thing ever. I'm sorry. If this was Microsoft on stage, Phil Spencer on stage, and he would have done the same thing, you guys, PlayStation guys would have been all over making tons of videos saying, they took a big L.
Yeah, sorry, you know what? Hang on. I just want to clarify that no one or no thing can argue with what Bonds just said. That's universal truth.
Oh, definitely.
Facts.
You know what, Fonz? Sometimes I think you're might be going a little hard on something, but then you remind me of how idiotic that community can be sometimes, and I'm like, you know what? You're right, fucker. You're right. I have your back.
Look, as I said on Twitter yesterday, it's a hobby. This is video gaming. It's fun to poke fun at things sometimes, and that was definitely one of those times to poke fun. That was just a major L taken by Sony and their fans, and I thought it was hilarious.
Mm-hmm. It was. And Jim Ryan, as we know, they all love Jim Ryan, even though I don't even want to talk about that kid again. Very interesting, that community. Always on the edge or off the edge or not even in the same room on most things that are happening. But at the end of the day, the logo was not foreseen by them, and nor really anybody. We didn't think that it was something that Sony would come out and say, look, we got a logo, bitches. And unfortunately, many have still decided to damage control it instead of saying, look, I'm not really excited by that at all. Hopefully that reveal is really good in a few months.
Is trending.
Maybe the console case is not quite finished. Maybe they're just not quite
Don't
ready.
show the console case. If you remember, they didn't show the console at their own PS4 reveal event. They showed it at that year's E3.
They showed PowerPoint slides, didn't they?
I have to say that I'm sorry that I think there is, because the thing that we don't talk about a lot is that a lot of people left like PlayStation. Like Sean Layden's not there. There's a lot of changing at the guard. A lot of things are different now. This doesn't feel like Sony. Like, to me, honestly, I'm just being like, a fucking logo does not feel like Sony, what they do usually. Like, no, I haven't seen anybody go, here's the logo, enjoy yourself. Like, no, nobody gets hyped for that. Nothing happens with that. And it feels kind of weird. Like, it doesn't feel the same. And that's what that's kind of like where I'm getting at, is that it just, I don't know, like, it kind of reminds me, I've talked to a couple people about this. It kind of reminds me of like the PS4 Pro. Like, I felt like they didn't even want to announce that console. Like, when they were on stage, it was like, well, we got to move on. Like, just get it as fast out there, because they knew the X just obliterated it. So it's like, what's going on? It kind of feels the same way, where they don't want to show shit for some reason, and they haven't showed anything.
Well, we know that.
So who's the sleeping giant right now, Zocker?
Who's the sleeping giant? Motherfucker, Sony's asleep. They're not even, like, I don't even know what the hell's happening. I don't know what's going on. Like, I don't know, man.
I think they're going to show this thing in mid-February or maybe the end of February, but that's going to come really quick. I mean, we're in the first week of January, and I know we get anxious for news, but time moves fast when you're old.
When you're old, time moves fast.
This has been a message from Colt Eastwood and Lipton Iced Tea.
And I completely agree.
Colt Eastwood's been sued by claiming that he works for Lipton Iced Tea.
Actually, should have fun. Do a commercial for us real quick.
Just to throw that out there, I have...
do a commercial for us.
We don't want a fucking Lipton iced tea commercial right now, god damn it. We're in the middle of a podcast. Colt's like, no, I need this Lipton commercial.
I wanted a Saltiest Tears commercial, but go ahead, do your show.
Oh, God, Colt. If you said it was Saltiest Tears commercial from his video, I would have said yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that was funny. If you didn't see one of Fonz's last videos, check it out. He had a pretty good skit in there. By the way,
Yeah,
Kids
everybody
Move wanted
hates
in by and Noof Nukem wanted in, and I said hit me up on Twitter. I haven't gotten anything from either of them, so I'm guessing they bailed. But hey, we did get Fonz earlier than I thought, so that's great.
Yeah.
I'm thankful for you, Fonz.
Dealer, you were saying
Hey,
something.
dude,
before
I don't want to.
I don't remember.
I don't ever want to miss the show, but I seriously had something bad come up, and I'll let you guys in on it.
Yeah. I mean, we get it. It's hopefully everything's good there as well. I've also S Vitterman. He says with the next gen Xbox launching and bringing first RDX podcast during a console launch, however you guys consider doing something special. Last year, we did one right before the Xbox One. I guess that Tuesday fell on. I think we had a hype show or something, didn't we, Fonz? For the Xbox One X? I remember everybody was in a good mood then. We had guys that are now Sony dudes on the show. They were like, I can't wait for 4K.
Yeah.
That was back. That was back when it was a different show. Yeah.
That was a long time ago. Shout out to Ghost.
I wasn't even here.
Hey, you weren't even alive, Zucker.
I wasn't. I was just a little fuckface in the corner over there.
Oh, you're still a fuckface. Hey, Ghost Kitsune, thank you for being a channel member, sir, or madam, whatever you might be. We do appreciate it. We've got more topics to go, but Sony's logo was a fail, and Google's trying to crash on me right now, so I'm going to stall. Colt, how have you been?
The night stall. Hey, I just want to say we're at 1,200 watching right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
If we hit 13, I'll do a Tim Dog yell since he can't.
No, Tim Dog. I'm gonna buy Tim Dog a compressor so he can yell and it won't kill everyone's ears. Because he's like
kind of like half the.
He
fun
goes
is,
hard.
You know, you leave bleeding ears, and people are like, "Did you watch your podcast?"
Forget
What?
bleeding.
Yeah.
Forget bleeding edge. I'm playing bleeding ears. It's time. But we really do have to get a shout out to 1,200 join us live, guys. You guys are fucking awesome.
Wow.
If you haven't already hit that like button, go check out D-Batch's last video. Hit the dislike button. So we're gonna go ahead and go to. Say what? Hey,
Honestly, best chat in the game right here. Our chat is the best. All these
that's
people that show
quite
up.
the statement.
Chris
Fonz.
713 says 1,400 in the chat. Colt gives us all PS5 logos.
He can actually do that. So yeah,
Oh my god.
Sony showed that up. The Xbox team actually did go to CES or parts of them. Not 100% fucking sure why. I think they did some things behind the scenes. But then Bill Spencer said, well, I'm going to go ahead and just show you the Series X processor. Bill Spencer changed his profile picture, and a lot of people got angry because other people were happy to see something new. People see the Series X as the beginning, a fresh start, a new thing, and that angers some people. They want everyone to keep living in the sewer like Pennywise. What's the problem with that, Cole? Why is it not okay to see some new silicon that might represent the beginning, a new start?
I mean, that's weird. They were making fun of us for being excited about the big dark gray refrigerator.
Meanwhile, they're hyping up a logo like a fuckface right now.
Oh my gosh. Facts. Faxes is yeah, I mean, this thing was, I mean, especially for somebody like D-Batch, a dealer who actually really know what all this stuff means. Like looking at that chip was really, really cool. And it looked nice. I would. Phil's carrying the thing around in his pocket. You know, it's bulging on the skinny jeans.
Big gold one on a chain on his neck. Ready to go.
That would be great.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just really cool looking. And I mean, it's okay to be excited about the chip. Digital Foundry turned around the next day and built a comprehensive video about what size the die is and comparisons of scaling in Photoshop and everything some of us did as well. Yeah, it's actually pretty cool to be excited about. I'm all right.
And
with
you
that.
know, Richard from Digital found mouth. It was cool.
What?
What?
All right, so we're gonna get Noof to come in, and we're gonna have Kid. Your kid said he might be able to join here soon, but his wife and kids are kind of around him, making noise, and they got blenders and shit in the bedroom. So it'll be a minute, maybe if he joins. We want be great. It'd be one of our bigger shows that we've had. But yeah, I'm gonna send some invites there. But I mean, yes, it's the beginning of a new thing. I think that's great. Wilmy Hood, you are a guy that appreciates a good chunk of performance. You, like me, have invested seriously in your PC hardware. Several has had. You know what this thing's going to be kind of capable of based off of what you've heard, you know, from people you trust and the performance you see on PC, the speed alone of the SSD. I know you're a man that appreciates simple taste, but you also are quite excited for this thing, correct?
Oh, definitely. But
All right, thanks.
I don't have simple taste when it comes to my gaming, sir.
Yeah, you play on Steam a lot. I know you're into all the newest stuff.
Steam, VR, you name it, I've got it.
You're a big advocate of VR, and you slammed your Xbox One X on the ground when Phil said "fuck VR." I remember that.
Which one? I own 5 of them, dude. I don't know which one I brought.
I'm kidding. I'm just saying that. Is it okay to be excited for something like this?
That's the problem with the gaming community now, man. You can't be excited over anything. You can't look forward to anything. And it's like Fawn said earlier, it's just gaming. It's a hobby.
Yep.
You know, I mean, most everybody on this chat, on the panel has kids, and it's not that serious.
Yeah.
But you're not allowed to enjoy anything according to social media. So,
Yeah, somebody said to me today, "Are you seriously excited about Hellblade and Flight Simulator and Halo Infinite?" And I said,
fuck yes.
And then you go find his
I
post.
said, "Yes, I am excited." Like, what kind of comment is that? Are you seriously excited about that? Yeah, I'm excited about a bunch of different new games. I'm not excited about everything. Like, I'm not out there going, "Play Battletoads." It's like people are so weird, man.
And they act like we're
games
excited for
so much
Battletoads.
shit.
Like some of you are. I'm not. I've said it several times. Like it is what it is. So guess what? I'm a little excited for Hellblade too. Even like everyone has their own thing here.
I'm
Yeah,
just tired of the
I've gotten-
gatekeeping. It gets really old.
I've gotten shit for like people like, "Oh, you're really excited for Sea of Thieves update?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm gonna fucking play it," and I do. I play the shit out of it. Or Gears Tactics, Wasteland 3. Like, I'm actually excited for these. And people do give me shit, but it's like, dude, relax. But then you do get those people that are actually excited with you, right? Like they actually do care and they want to talk about it.
Mhm.
So it
Want to
balances
enjoy
out, man.
gaming.
The other people you just gotta fucking ignore. Who cares?
I get shit over VR all the time.
Yeah.
People
What?
will
You're one of
send
those
me messages,
VRs?
and they'll send me messages on Twitter going, "That's so fucking stupid. Why would you invest in a VR? Save your money."
Yeah. Well,
Motherfucker,
did he
number
come to your
one, you don't
house
know
and
how
like
much
pull your
money
hand
I
out of your
have.
pocket when you reached in to get some money? Don't use that
I'm
money on that
thinking-
Wilmy hood.
But the funny part is, I gave away 6 VR headsets to people on Twitter. Right before Christmas, I gave them away as Christmas presents.
God damn.
I mean,
Yeah, that
don't
secret
tell
talent.
me what I can spend my money on. I clean up fucking dead people for a living. Okay,
Bleh.
I'll spend my money where I get the urge.
How many
I
people
earned
did
it.
How many people did you have to clean up after that CES 2020?
How many
I
times
ironically didn't get any calls from after that.
Oh my
did you
god.
clean up Rand's channel? Never mind.
What?
I can think of a few people that I saw posting about it yesterday, and I didn't see anything from them today. So I mean, it could be a possibility.
Man.
Rand's not here. I can say what I want.
But I like the hypocrisy though, because if it was the PlayStation 5 chip that was revealed, all these guys would have it up on their Twitter the same way. It's like it's
Oh yeah.
fucking nonsense. I get a hard time for liking Flight Simulator. It's why do you like Flight Simulator? You're just flying. You're not doing anything. And I tell them, what game have you seen ever that looks better than that game?
Man, that game, if they put that in VR, oh my god.
That's the
That
most
would be-
photorealistic game I've ever seen in my life.
Yes, it is.
You know what another great looking game is that people don't talk about is The Vanishing of Ethan Carter on the X. That game looks so fucking realistic that it's like, I don't know how to explain it. Like you can look at a corner of a building and you're like, is that fucking real? Like
Oh yeah.
it uses photogrammetry and it's holy shit.
That's gonna play a big role next gen too, man. I hope to see it in a lot of games.
I got a question for you, D. When are you going to benchmark that PS5 logo?
Actually, at the end of my video that I did today, I actually have the benchmark on there on how long it actually took to create that logo. Literally.
Oh my gosh.
We should have a Newfie Nukem joining. A Newfie Nukem. What's going on, buddy?
Hey.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I can hear you.
Let me get you
Oh,
up.
we got Noof.
Get your mic up a
Hey.
little. Get your
That
mic up a
show's
little
fucked
bit.
now. Everybody go home.
He's
Good
calling
night.
in live from a
Thank
Dixie
you
Cup.
for
It's a Newfie Nukem. How you been, brother? You're glad to have you on the show.
Good to be here, man. Thanks for the invite. Appreciate it. Yeah, it's good times ahead, indeed. Yes, it's logo excitement out there these days. Jeez.
I mean, how do you know it's good times? Do you have a source?
Yeah, it's the same one that I always use. Is that voice in my head that just says, "Go for it."
It's like, come on, Microsoft, don't fuck up. That's the.
No, if you don't need to buy for a board, go buy that console.
Oh my god. Well, either way, I mean, I'm sure you've been listening a little bit here. I mean, there's the
Absolutely.
CES thing was a major flop for a lot of people there. They were all hyping it up, and then they say, of course they didn't show anything. We had said that we don't know what the fuck's going on. We heard this, but hey, Google it. At the end of the day, nothing really massive happened there. The Xbox team didn't do shit. Phil Spencer's like, here's a chip, and we're like, cool. And then other than that, I mean, CES was kind of a wash for console. The chip reveal was the biggest news there by far, the biggest news revealed at that point, I would say.
It is called a Consumer Electronics Show, and you go there to hear and see really cool new tech, and it was the equivalent of showing up for one of your favorite bands, and they come out on stage and go, that's it, show's over, ain't playing no songs tonight.
And then instead, Nickelback comes out. Oh, God. I mean, what is cool, though, is the chip. I'm going to talk about the chip a little bit because, of course, we've got to talk about this. So Phil Spencer did reveal this thing. We all know it is probably what's likely going to be the biggest chip in any console ever. I think it's going to be quite easily achievable. Digital Foundry suggests that it's around 405 millimeters, but there are plenty of others building their own mock-ups and comparing using different distortion tools in Photoshop. Around 400 millimeters, 401 millimeters seems to be common consensus. This is a big ass chip, D-Batch.
Yes, it's a huge chip, and what a lot of people it's just going over their head is that
That's a huge chip.
That's a huge
See, size does matter, gentlemen.
Hey, we don't know
the
that yet.
original Xbox One X is 359 millimeters squared, and that's on 60 nanometers. This is bigger and on 7 nanometers. So just imagine how much is packed into
I gotta
that
explain it like I did on Twitter. The guy I told you guys about this. Somebody said, I don't really know what that means. I said, well, imagine you order a pizza, but it's a giant pizza. It's too big, so you use a shrink gun to shrink it, and it's still bigger than a normal pizza. That's how you like. You know what I'm saying? That's an analogy that a 2-year-old might understand. It's a big chip, even though it's been shrunk. The tech inside of it, it's so much that it's still more.
You shrink the pizza, but it'll still fill up or feed as many people?
No, I think you shrink the kids and then you call it ground. No, that's a new game.
Oh,
I want to try that game out, actually. All right, I'm not hyped for it, but I'll definitely play Grounded for sure.
That chip is freaking huge. It's about the size.
Oh God. Well, Michael Ciccello, my bad. He says D-Batch was snoring during the Sony's press conference. So
chip.
He didn't have time to fall asleep. It was actually that short.
how long was
that one locust in the gameplay just beat the shit out of you and Cole? That thing fucked
You know what,
you up.
Zucker, after how many times we watch you die in games over and over, don't ever talk shit, okay? Never. Never, ever.
I didn't put that shit live.
Ah, well. It was one death, people. And you know what it was? It was Colt was doing something. He says, hang on, I got to go.
Wait. If you look at the Locust,
You're always throwing me under the bus.
he has the PS5 logo on him.
Oh, God.
That's how he got Diller and Cole.
But hey, back to the chip. It's going to be very, very powerful. See, and if you watch the Digital Foundry stuff, even Richard's saying those benchmarks were coming from AMD tests, basically, right? So those benchmarks that Richard is still referring to, even on his video today, do say 56 compute units at around 1700 megahertz, which we had talked about weeks ago on the show being a possibility. That's not confirmed, but it would be a way to keep that power draw, because you don't want to overclock some cards, especially AMD. They're getting a little better here recently, but you don't want to suck too much power and run things too high, or it's going to produce a lot more heat for the diminishing returns really start to kick in, is what I'm trying to say. And it's not really all that practical on a console. So maybe they get more cores at a slightly less frequency. And then imagine if each core has X amount of ray tracing capability, then that's even more potential there. But it's that big for a reason. A lot of capability there, D. Would you reckon that it's closer to 11.3 that came out here more recently, or a full on 12? Because I checked in, I messaged somebody, and they're still saying that, yeah, it's 12.
So the whole thing with the 12, it still is 12. And in fact, Tech Power Up changed it back to 12. So Tech Power Up had it, they put it down to like 11 point something, 11.3 or something. And now if you go look today, it's back at 12.9 or something.
Did anything else in that change? Because I didn't see that.
Yeah. So basically what I think someone did is they said, oh, it's 56 CU. So they're going to disable 4 for redundancy. Which actually it's 60. It's a 60 CU, the full one, and they've already subtracted the 4. So
that's not even the full story, too. D. This is like we all did. You and we all did videos on this, and the number changed early Monday morning. I did it out on Saturday morning, and the number changed early on Monday. And it said under notes, it changed it from GPU testing to taken from a source from Reddit on GitHub. And so I'm like, what? And it went down from 12.2 basically to 11.3. And like, you don't drop an entire teraflop like that. Like, that's kind of crazy. And yeah, people were started blasting me in the comment section the first part of that morning. So really interesting.
So the source they were saying, well, that's too powerful. That source is not accurate. They used the same one to say, you were wrong. Now it's 11.3.
Yep. But I'll say this, though. What gives me promise, though, is that, the last minute they overclocked the Xbox One X, right? I think also, too, at the last minute, they'll be able to overclock this, too, because 1.7 is pretty modest still. I think safely they could get to at least 1.8 on the GPU side, and that would increase, performance. Also, too, they've disabled 4 CUs for redundancy. If they enable 2 of those CUs, if they had better yields and enable 2 of those CUs, we could get more performance. So I'm excited for the 12 teraflops, but there's also the possibility of us just getting a little bit more. But nonetheless,
I'm just going to hold out and hope we get what the fuck I was told. That's all I want.
Yeah.
I just want the 12. Do you greedy fuck?
They're targeting the 12, so they're not going to target that if they don't feel confident about it. And based on everything that we know so far, that should be easily obtainable.
Yeah, I think it's a magic combination between frequency, core count, and power draw. And I think that's exactly why it is clocked, exactly where it's at, the sweet spot, which is still pretty high. We both know that. So at the end of the day, like the Series X, I saw a news tweet earlier, that's going to be a big determining factor for you, the amount of performance you get for your dollar. Funny you say that. This is going to be the most performance by far you've ever gotten relative to the capability of hardware in a console, like for your dollar. We really do believe that based off of everything that we've been told and stuff. Are you kind of skeptical on that, or do you actually think, oh, fuck, those guys will wait until it comes out? I get that logic as well. But what are your thoughts there?
Like I said, everything is really going to also depend on the launch lineup and how well it can articulate the kind of, the upgrade that we are getting. I love my X. I've said this a million times. But I spent a lot of money on
stay away from her new
generation, right? Yeah, she's a nasty one. But like how much is this thing like legitimately or even figuratively going to cost up here in Canada? That's because we
have
the
600 minimum in Canada.
So I'm thinking right now, like it would not surprise me in the least if it drops in at $700 Canadian. And while that's probably fantastic value for what you're getting, that's still a lot of cash to drop down. And like I said, I'm just going to wait and see. At this point, it's not set in stone. I definitely want one. I mean, I'm an Xbox guy through and through, and I'm impressed with what I've seen so far. But we'll just have to see.
Yeah, I get it. Definitely, especially in Canada. The prices are a bit higher there. I mean, I would count on 500 US, 600 Canadian, and if it's not, oh well, fuck it, I was wrong. But I'm kind of like leaning that way. I'm not the only one. Tons of people are leaning that way.
I think so.
We'll see. And people are like, Lockhart, why would that be only 100 less than the PS5 and it's 4 versus 9? And I'm thinking, like, think about the S and the X today. For 200 more bucks, you get almost 5 times more power. You know what I'm saying? So there's going to be a massive gap between some of these systems. And if you really think about it, that's about where they should be for $200 difference, I think.
Yeah, agree.
D-Batch,
I think Microsoft just needs to do a good job on selling the Xbox Series X to us. And for those that don't want the best performing hardware, but still want to invest in Microsoft's ecosystem, you have the lock card. And I think the lock card is going to be a great 1080p, possibly 1440p machine. And if it's playing all of the current gen games, like, I don't know, it puts Sony in a weird position. Now, Sony's still going to sell. I know Sony's going to. PlayStation 5 will sell. I'm not saying they won't sell. Just the lock card will kind of put it in a weird position, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, there's already some little fanboys talking about sales between the Xbox and the PS5, and it will sell it. It's like, didn't you say that the 9.2 wasn't accurate? Anyway, so at the end of the day, like, the chip's massive. It's that big for a reason. Sony are very, very candid on how much information they're releasing. Colt, why is it that Sony are they're hiding all that information? Microsoft are very confident. They're even showing you the silicon. The PS5 is a ghost fart right now.
Well, I've heard people say that they're scared. They want to hide the PS5 because it's not powerful enough. I just don't think that. I think that they've had a plan set in stone. They've got everything lined up for a February event to reveal the full console and do everything all at once. And they got shook by the Game Awards thing. Like, wow, we didn't see that coming. And they're just going to have to deal with it. I think they're just going to wait. And that's okay. My problem is Microsoft has already shown me 3 things, or I guess 4 things to get me excited about next generation. They showed me the console with some of the specs or the idea of what the power will be. They've shown me 3 games. They've shown me Everwild, they've shown me Halo Infinite, and they've shown me Soccer fill in blank for me all of a sudden.
Wait, Everwild, Hellblade
Yep.
2?
Hellblade 2, yeah. Yeah, so they've shown 3 games, and then Turn 10 has admitted that Motorsport 8 is coming, and it's possibly coming at launch with the Series X.
I think the Series X needs another. Yeah, it would definitely benefit from something like that, other than just Halo. The more is better, obviously.
Yes, absolutely. But I mean, that's what I have to look forward to with the PlayStation 5. Everyone tells me 2 things. It's going to sell more than the Xbox. I don't care. That doesn't do anything for my enjoyment.
But you get a personal cut of each sale as an owner. What do you mean?
Right. The other thing they're telling me is PlayStation puts out bangers, so they're going to put out bangers again. I mean, yeah, I guess.
So Days Gone at 71 this year, Concrete Genie at 75, Death Stranding in 83, 82.
I will tell you this. Since 2016, if you want to count Bloodborne, they kind of helped make it. It's kind of a second party game. Since Uncharted 4, they've had one amazing banger every year, except for 2018 when they did God of War and Spider-Man. Amazing year.
Which is great. We all praise the hell out of those games, but we don't define that whole system. And nobody that is not an idiot defines a whole system based off of 1 or 2 games a year, even though we love those games, and we would definitely like to have them on Xbox.
Reminded me about Godfall. Yes, Godfall is the only thing that we know that's coming. But like I said a couple weeks ago, I'm a little bit leery because it has that looter shooter thing. It could be like Anthem and Destiny, could be way better, but Gearbox is backing it.
Would you know it's a PS5 game if they didn't tell you?
You talking about Godfall?
So nobody's going to buy that game, right? Because it doesn't completely max out the hardware, obviously, right? Because it doesn't look like it does.
That game, I'm honest to tell you, when I saw that game, I was not impressed. It looked like a current gen game with a little bit of ray tracing.
So nobody's going to buy it, D, because it doesn't 100% max out the box. Is that what you're saying?
No, people will buy it, I guess, if they like the game. But I'm saying that I wasn't impressed with that, especially when I compared it to the Hellblade 2 demo that they showed.
D, I don't buy games unless they run on one thing. That's why I'm getting rid of my 2080 because I found out it runs on the 1060 as well.
And the other thing, Colt, that you were saying, like all those things they showed you, but there's also one thing that I feel like we kind of talked about a year ago, is that Xbox hasn't been very silent. They've been very confident. They've been talking a lot. They've been saying a lot of things. They've been showing a lot. That's the big thing. Like, it's not just talk. They're showing stuff.
Would you say they broke their silence, Salker?
Yes, they broke their silence. Title stealing. No, they honestly, I just feel really just very confident in the brand.
Somebody's a moment.
They're not hiding anything.
Yeah,
that's it. That's just what it is. And I really find that actually I want to buy the console because of that, because I know what's coming. They've talked about studios. They've shown what the studios are making, and they've even said pretty much every show that comes up, we have so much shit that we're probably going to show something new every time. That's obscene. That's
and I know
it's so cool.
I know people could take my comment and be upset about it, but I know that Sony has 4 or 5 amazing studios that will deliver. We know Naughty Dog and Sucker Punch and Sony Santa Monica and Polyphony will probably make a really great full Gran Turismo game. I know those studios will deliver. We just don't know what they're making yet. I mean, we can kind of just guess, right? Insomniac too. They're going to make an amazing Spider-Man game. I know that's going to happen. So you're looking at 1 or 2 games a year. It's going to be amazing. I also know that Microsoft has 15 studios, and I also know that they have 4 or 5 studios that are really amazing too, that are totally dependable.
What do you mean really amazing? Only 4 or 5? I mean, come on. No, we reckon. By that he means they're capable of producing large scale games that maybe the more mainstream might be interested in, right?
Well, and the other thing, and I understand, I know people are like, oh, well, Xbox has all these studios, but I know every game's not for me. Just like Days Gone.
Hardly any games are for you.
Exactly.
I'm just shitting on everyone today. I'm chilling out.
Mainly me. You're a bitch.
No,
No, but I'm just saying, like, I understand.
Hang on,
that they're gonna bring
Fonzarelli is
out a
fucking
big-
ghost in the background chilling.
Hold on. But I know they're going to bring out a big game here and there. Like, obviously, like, they've brought out Gears. They're going to bring out other AAA games, and then they're going to bring out like something that Colt wants, like a banjo. Like, I get it. Like, they're going to do that.
You notice when someone's mad at him, his name's Zocker.
Yeah.
You will get Battletoads,
Soccer
gentlemen.
the stalker.
Get Battletoads.
Yeah.
I was going to say that Zucker's right about that. If there's one thing that I see from both sides, it's that, especially coming from Microsoft side, is the confidence. They've really developed this confidence like we haven't seen in years. And now that they are talking about games that are ahead of schedule, way out there. Hellblade 2 is not coming out next year. Hellblade 2 is probably at least 2 years off.
No, I would say Hellblade's next year. Yeah.
You think it's going to be next year?
I mean, if it's not, I'll take the L on it. Whatever, I don't care.
I'm sorry. We're already in 2020.
Yeah,
so
Fonz. Jeez.
But I'm just saying it's not going to be a launch title for the Series X, and we know this. But they're already showing some of their cards. And if you really think about it, this is the first like story narrative driven game since like Quantum Break that they brought out that they've come out with.
Yeah.
Since Quantum Break. I mean,
it's Quantum Break.
No, I think this is pretty exciting for Xbox gamers or gamers everywhere, myself included. The fact that they are starting to change their ways and this confidence and everything, you can tell, people can see it. Even Sony fans can see that there's a swagger to Microsoft right now, that they're actually coming out and they're swinging, they're doing something. Whereas before they were always pretty quiet about things. They're not now. And when you look at the other side, the other night, or last night at the CES thing, I know it's just CES, but they had Jim Ryan come out on stage and he said absolutely nothing really. Nothing that we didn't really know about already.
He showed us the Colts logo.
Yeah, but
I gotta fix this real quick. Ben, where is it? Ben Farrow said Xbox One X was the most powerful system too, and it still failed.
No,
actually, everything the Xbox One X did dominated the PS4 Pro, the PS4, and the Switch.
Where do these idiots get their information? You think, Colt?
He's looking at a sales figure chart. Like
what sales figure chart? Microsoft has literally never told you how many X's sold.
No, I mean, actually, the only thing we ever heard was early on when the X released, an analyst said that the X was outpacing the PS4 Pro.
And Microsoft built both. They build both. They are the same thing, but one runs games better than the other, much like different versions of laptops or anything else in the universe.
Saying the 2080 Ti failed because it's getting crushed by the 1050 Ti.
Exactly.
Holy smokes, people are.
And what most of these guys don't realize, Microsoft doesn't care. They're not caring about the console sales.
Yeah.
They want you in that ecosystem.
Yeah, exactly.
They're the biggest software developer on earth.
And here's the thing. Somebody in the chat is saying that swagger and that confidence doesn't matter. You're right. Guess what does matter? Guess what does matter here? They're showing games that we've been asking for. You may not be a Hellblade fan. I'm not a big Hellblade fan, but it is a mature AAA title that we've been asking for. This is the kind of stuff that we're seeing a turnaround with Microsoft, and that's what I'm getting at. So
I heard there's another one they wanted to show at Exo as well. They didn't, and it wasn't Hellblade. And I got to give a shout out to Ray as well. Ray Magnan in the chat that says that, hey, Microsoft, you're trying to get a little early lead here on Mindshare because by June, purchasing decisions are ready to be made. And that's usually why, people do see it in, March or April. Usually Microsoft, Sony do show it before E3 and stuff, but yeah. Thank you.
Here, there's one thing I got to say. People saying that the X failed or this failed or that failed. Like, isn't the whole point, like every time I talk to somebody that's like, well, you want sales because you want them to invest more, or you want them to do this because you want that game to come to Xbox and more people are going to buy it and that helps the development.
Things are different now, right?
Not see, so I'm just saying, isn't Xbox investing the most money or Microsoft's investing the most money we've ever seen into gaming? Like, honestly. So isn't it a success, people? Like, they're literally doing what you want.
And I want to know how the X failed when the X's competition isn't the regular PlayStation 4. It was the PlayStation 4 Pro, the refresh.
So the Pro failed too, basically, huh?
Yeah. And definitely the X outsold the Pro because the consensus on the Pro was the games don't really look much different than the regular PlayStation 4. And most people opted for the PlayStation 4. I got the Pro personally. VR, bitch. I personally got the Pro for VR because I got better VR on it. And a lot of people that got the Pro, they got it for VR.
You know what? All I keep hearing about here is a bunch of whiny people in the chat talking about sales.
Hey, chat, don't you know?
Well, and the funny part, Microsoft didn't they have a record year?
Yeah, they've had a couple.
I mean,
If y'all
come on,
motherfuckers
that
care
tells
about
you
money
something.
and revenue and sales, shut the fuck
if
up.
you're
Microsoft,
talking-
you know,
yeah.
if you really want to talk about money and you're talking about something Microsoft related, just stop.
Pick up the Wall Street
But
Journal.
here's the thing, though. If you cannot structure a complete sentence in the chat, don't try to tell us about sales strategy for a major corporation.
Guys,
Especially
I'm sure
with
the
500
McDonald's
other analysts, experts, and marketing geniuses in the
There's
chat
so
as well.
many of them.
Mhm.
I'm sure the
There's
McDonald's
everywhere.
McDouble sells the Wendy's Baconator, but you know what? When I eat McDoubles, I get the shits.
You remember what Matt Piscatella of MPD Group said like 6 months ago? He said the Xbox One X is selling phenomenally well. And everyone's like, but not compared to the PS4.
Oh yeah, man. And it's like Fawn said, people have nothing better to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Beaner has a good point. He says Sony blueballed us at CES. Good thing that Series X chip was released to help release the frustration. Yep. It was the biggest news at CES for a lot of people. And it is exciting because, for one, it kind of increases the validity of things that were said amongst the RDX crew and other podcasts and community. It's going to be a big chip because it's got more compute units, and this thing is going to be a monster. I can't wait to learn more. By the way, we do have engineers from that team.
Yeah, I was going to
that
say, aren't you going to bring on somebody that has more of those chips than Phil Spencer does?
We're gonna have some people on. And what I wanted to do was have the guy who made the first Xbox on with the guy that's making the Xbox is coming out this year on at the same time, and that was an idea by Darj Knight when I told him two of the guests that wanted to come on, and then we've also got xCloud people that want to come on and other people. So I mean, again, if it don't work out, then if they're not there that week or whatever, we don't really have schedules right now, but it's something they've confirmed. I tried to have Seamus on, but that power went out that week. We didn't have a show. What luck, right? So it will happen. It might take a couple weeks for the first one or whatever, but it will happen eventually. That's just how it works with this kind of stuff. But thanks again for your super chat, Beaner. Do appreciate it, brother.
I got a question to ask the people that are always talking about sales. There's guys in this chat still talking about sales. Is a determining factor for when you go buy a console how many sales that console has? Because it isn't for me. I don't give a shit about how many people have bought that console.
Bonds, imagine if it said how many sales it had on the box and they put them next to each other. That might
I've got a great example too.
Don't give Sony ideas, dealer.
They always point at Xbox dudes for ever bringing up Microsoft money, right? But then themselves are just sitting talking about sales, how many consoles Sony sold, when Microsoft, is sitting there sitting on fat stacks of money. You know what I'm saying? They've had a record year.
Sony can sell 10 times a console and not be worth a fraction, even still. So why even talk about it?
Game Pass. The amount of money that they are making off of Game Pass is freaking great. I don't understand what people, who cares? Who cares what sells? Who cares?
Hey, Pixelbit G, thank you so much. He says, people overlooking the RPG studios that Microsoft's had, the true potential to bring out big games from In Exile. Yeah, In Exile will be one of their smaller RPG studios now, but yes, definitely something, and I can't say the word that you called these people, but Pixelbit G is not happy with some of you. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Very good super chat there. William in the super chat says that basically Sega never outsold Nintendo. Dreamcast was still fun. And you know what? That's a good point, William. Thank you so much. Yeah. I mean, other than the chip SES, I mean, we all kind of, I'm trying to get kids moving here. Sorry, I'm trying to multitask here, and I'm very bad at just tasking in general.
Oh, man.
So.
We know.
Go ahead. Wilmy Hood, you tell me your thoughts on the sales thing. I mean, you kind of alluded it. Why even talk about it? Microsoft already destroying you when it comes to revenue anyway. Who cares?
Well, it's like I was going to say a moment ago. Most of us don't pay attention to all that. Like when I was looking for a new PC, who did I talk to? You, dealer.
You got yourself an Origin.
I got you. Oh yeah, I got your opinion on what you like. Because how many different companies out there make so-called gaming PCs now? I mean, there's quite a lot. I went with what a friend recommended, and I mean that's what it's all about, man. Have fun. Don't worry. I mean, the sales doesn't matter anyway. They want you in the ecosystem. Once they've got you there, they know they have you at that point.
And it's not going to be the same launch. When the Xbox Series X and PS5 are in the stores, it was really like people would just random Joe public would say, "Oh, don't buy the Xbox." Like, no, it's taboo. It's a product nobody wants. It's got a bad thing going on, a bad taste.
It's got too much trans fat.
That went forever. Like, there's DRM. It's bundled with the Kinect. The Kinect sucks. And that went on for a while. It's overpriced because it was $100 more. It's not going to be like this. I think both consoles are just going to be a nice, clean, easy, no frills release, unless PlayStation tries to bundle the PSVR 2.0. But other than that, I think it should be a nice, easy sell for people.
Yeah, I mean, it's really going to just depend on what you want to play. I mean, that's it. And it's not complicated, but some people online, man, really try to make it complicated.
Yeah. Well, like Mike Ibarra said in one of his tweets, referring to some of the data, the gaming has really changed a lot in the last 15 years, like exponentially. The only time when sales that I can recall really mattered a lot was like, even you look at the era between the Sega Saturn and the PlayStation when they came out. A lot of people don't realize that Tomb Raider, for example, was an original game by Core and Eidos for the Saturn before it was even brought over to PlayStation.
So an air conditioner joined. Kid, is that you?
Is it really that loud, or is this like feedback?
You must be hot as fuck. What you got that thing on?
No, you can hear like. Does it? Maybe
it sounds like you're living inside of a refrigerator truck.
Hold on. Give me 1 second. I'm about to turn off this one of these consoles. Hold on.
4 Pro.
This fucking Element of PO basically said Jim Ryan has said that Sony need to keep the momentum heading into the next generation. Do you think they're actually doing this? Basically saying they might lose the momentum as well. Jim Ryan has said it over and over. They need to get people to adopt PS5 faster than ever. They want more people to get PS5 day one than even PS4. And they need it to be the biggest success, or that's what they really, really want out of it. And this means a $400 price tag. No more than that. I wouldn't imagine that at all, Fonz. Thinking about that, what Cerny said, a very appealing price. Jim Ryan said, we need to have mass adoption of this thing. It's part of our strategy. Yeah. Wouldn't you agree that it's about $399, Fonz?
Yeah, I would agree. It's $400. That's right.
All right, thank you.
It has to be. I mean, think about it. If they're talking so much about price, and we're hearing about even if the specs aren't exactly true, nobody was talking about power last night at CES, so maybe those specs kind of are true.
That's because that logo was fire.
But the thing is, at the end of the day, if they're going for price to performance ratio, $399 sounds great for a really beast machine. PS5 is going to be a beast regardless. But $400, and then you're going to see, the Series X. Cheaper than I thought it was going to be. It's probably going to be $499 at this point. If theirs is going to hit that $399 sweet spot, I think that they're only going to be $100 more.
And then Microsoft got that lock card that some people still don't believe is real. So
and I just I used to think it was going to be for $599 for the Scarlett, but or the Series X, but it can't be at this point. It just can't.
And you used to think Lockhart was coming in at $399, $400.
Yeah. And now I'm thinking more along the lines of $299.
A little Fonzarelli is reeling himself back in.
I have to. It's sometimes you just got to look at things and how things start to play out, and you start to hear more and more, and you just got to be logical.
You just got to come to the same conclusion as come on now. I gave you the logic. No, it's perfect strategy. Like they laid it all out for us, this gen, right? 2 systems, $200 gap, and if they can get the X at 500, the Series X at 500, like if you argue with that price, man, something's wrong with you. Kids move. Are you alive?
They're taking a big loss.
Yes, sir.
Big loss. At 500.
Yeah, I don't even see how they can make anything on that.
My background's still out.
It's got to come.
There's a hum to it, brother. But I mean, just when you're not talking, just mute it. It's fine. You probably need a DBX, bro. You can get one of those built-in kind of frequency things that'll actually automatically tune out the background noise, so hums like that don't come through. Or if you have a shock mount as well, that would help get rid of some of that. But what are your thoughts on what we've been talking about, man? You're one of my oldest friends on here, kid. It's nice to have you on.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Smooth.
Yeah, it's good to be on like the best Xbox podcast right now.
Oh my god.
No, it is. I mean, I watch RDX and Xbox too a lot.
Shout out to Ren Jazz.
Yeah, shout out to Raina Jazz. No, I
Shout
just
out to
honestly just been having a field day with these people. We're now down to counting likes on Instagram.
I saw that earlier.
Yeah, it's got to that point.
Oh man.
PlayStation logo has more Instagram likes than the Xbox picture on it. Like,
And I bet you the PlayStation, is it that the PlayStation Instagram has less followers or more likes, or how's that?
They have
working?
about like the PlayStation Instagram has like 22 million followers to like Xbox is like 3 or something like that.
Oh
million.
wow, that's kind of odd ratio there, huh?
Oh, that means they're going broke.
Oh man.
Hey, kid, good
Yeah.
to have you on the show, by the way. How many likes did the PlayStation logo get on TikTok?
Oh my god.
Kid and I have so much fun on Twitter with these guys. We feed off each other a little too much, I think.
It's funny.
Yeah, it's been ridiculous. It's been like of what everybody's like talking about. The thing is the thing that's been really interesting to me about this whole generation. You know, I feel like we all know Xbox kicked it off very unpredictable. Like we're always trying to predict what Xbox is going to do, but it was very unpredictable. We've been talking outside of like what Diller and Colt has been putting out on Anaconda and Lockhart back when we were calling it that. We've been talking about the Xbox Series X, not just you guys, but the PlayStation guys, the anti-Xbox guys, the quote-unquote neutrals have been talking about Xbox Series X in hours and hours of podcasts since December 12th, right?
Mhm.
And the crazy thing is, we thought there was going to be some sort of like balancing act. PlayStation's going to do something at CES to like, you know, to like, they had to do something. They had to do something to like at least get like, all right, let's like.
It's
you know,
kind of
get
like
our
Microsoft's
fans
last
excited.
E3. We're like, surely they're going to show some stuff this time.
Yeah,
And- nope.
absolutely. Absolutely. So, and the fact that everybody's getting hype, everybody's doing reaction live streams, and dude, I was watching multiple reaction streams, and I was laughing my ass off because they were like, it's the logo.
So they watched everyone run up to the stage with their little cell phones out, and is that what happened?
Yeah.
They ran to the stage with
I
the
don't
cell
watch.
phone.
I don't watch these guys and their reaction streams and stuff like that. It's,
Dude, like, so it's the fact that nothing didn't happen, and then now they're like, okay, well, nobody's gonna podcast about the PlayStation logo, so now there's gonna be podcasting about how much mind share PlayStation has because of their Instagram likes, and
is that really what they're doing? You're not kidding right now? Are you kidding?
No, PlayStation 5 logo's trending.
I mean, like, are they really doing podcasts over that?
Yes, they are.
Who?
I'm not going to say it on the air, dude.
There's nothing else to talk. All CES was a remaster of the Wired article that came out last April. Except it came with an
more at
exclusive
that
look.
one, didn't they?
No, they showed you exactly what Cerny, the little bullet
the same
points he
shit.
highlighted, the same stuff on like a JPEG, and they gave us an exclusive look.
Was
at the
Cerny there at
PlayStation
least?
4 logo. No.
Damn it!
Well, if he was there, he was probably in the crowd with Corey Barlow.
I'm sure I
They
would
were
have seen
probably
new
looking at
pictures of
TVs,
him,
but-
you know, looking kind of creepy. Either way, I mean, Cerny's a smart guy. I like Cerny. He's you could tell, you can hear the passion in his voice. He's a very, very, very smart guy. I think the whole 8.4 teraflops that some of those guys ran with, many of them changed their name and stuff like that, and became tried to be a little more reputable. But either way, like,
count out rapid back man.
oh god, yeah, Cerny did not put emphasis on it like that though. The fans turned Cerny's quotes into something that I was telling them back then. He was talking about theoretically and this and that, and trying to explain why they don't use 16-bit operations in modern triple, all this stuff. They didn't believe me then. It is what it is, right? But Cerny, you know, he wasn't there. Phil didn't go. Some of the what is that? Some of the Series X
Phil
team
found
did go.
another
But
way
they
to
didn't do
steal the
nothing.
show.
Yeah, he did. Phil said, you know what? Let me put up a picture and go ahead and rob everybody's time.
I got a question for I don't know if Diller you want to tackle this or D if you want to tackle this, right? Because I seen somebody hit up D about his D's RDNA like 2 claim because AMD said that both Xbox and PlayStation is using the RDNA architectures, but they didn't identify.
I mean,
one as
I've already
one and
told him
two.
a million times it's likely going to be a hybrid on both sides.
Okay,
I don't know
And-
though.
the other, because I didn't know if there was like, because I honestly I think that's not and I don't think AMD is going to come out and be like, we're working with Xbox on RDNA 2 and then turn around and say we're working on PlayStation on the current generation one. Like I just
don't
don't
get
think
the trash
that's, like,
one. You can
very
get number 2 over here.
that wouldn't be professional. I think they're going to leave that to PlayStation and Xbox to examine at their respective conferences.
And they didn't even announce any RDNA 2 GPUs, did they?
Yeah, that's the thing. They haven't announced any RDNA 2 GPUs. So if they haven't announced anything regarding RDNA 2, why the hell do people expect the consoles to get the announcement yet? I think it's going to be RDNA 2 based, the Xbox Series X at least. And like Dealer said, if at the very least, a hybrid of it. It's going to have some components of it because we know this because Xbox Series X has been confirmed to have variable rate shading. It's confirmed to have ray tracing.
Something about ultraviolet color or something like that, right? Or something popped up?
Their new architecture natively has ray tracing on it. So why the fuck would these consoles not have some form of that in them?
Well, they've already confirmed the ray tracing anyway. So
the Xbox Wired article after they did their Game Awards reveal, they specifically said next generation RDNA architecture isn't like. Now, the way I took that is RDNA 1 already exists, right? So I just, to me, I was like,
well, so do rumble triggers, but apparently those are new too.
So that's why I assumed, like, I thought it would be that could be a safe bet of RDNA 2, but. And then the other thing is the chip that that has everybody hyped, and people are getting mad at us for talking about the new chip.
Stop being excited.
Being excited over a logo, but now has anybody been able to decipher? Like, because I wish he would have took a picture of the chip side by side with the Scorpio chip. Scarlett
Digital Foundry has.
If you should check out his video if you haven't. He's basically saying that he thinks it's going to be around 405 millimeters, but many others are around 401.
I deciphered it. I said it had way more little doohickeys.
There's more doohickeys on this one. Hey, Xbox Battleground says your 2020 is going to be a year to remember. The panic is real. The power narrative is dead. We know the Series X is going to be substantially faster. The game's narrative is fading away. We fucking hope so. And of course, now it's all about the sales again. And Sony knows that too. They announced 106 million PS4 sold. And I thought it was 100 million like forever ago.
Well, hey, fiddly diddly. You guys know I loves doing the hickeys.
Who is that? Is that Noof?
That's Noof.
Noof.
Who else would that be?
Noof, did you miss a little Cerny action this year?
Nah, we didn't need him out there, man. He guy just, I don't know. He's just kind of weird. I can't sum it up, man.
Take it easy on Cerny. Come on.
Between him being weird and then Sean Layden with his tight t-shirts and stuff, but man, that's one that baffles me because that dude's been like since he got canned or left or whatever the hell happened to him. That dude's been super quiet.
Now, Sean Layden, actually, I was shown a tweet that he liked where people were freaking out because MLB's coming to the Xbox and then all this other stuff, and they're like, Jim Ryan's killing the brand. We need you back. We miss you. And then it was Sean Layden like this. I was like, whoa. I really don't think things ended well over there, cultist.
Of course not.
No, Zalker, sorry, I called you in a minute, buddy.
Sorry.
Things couldn't have possibly ended well over there. There's no way. Not even any pen pal letters, Zalker.
No. Colt, did you want to tackle this?
No, it's just I've already kind of said it, but go ahead, Zalker.
No, I mean, obviously, things didn't end well over there. I mean, Cerny hasn't said anything, much like Sony hasn't for a year and a half, and it's just been kind of weird, honestly. Like, nothing's going on. Nobody's talked about it. And
go ahead and mute your mic and clear your throat there, big fella.
I did. I don't even, it's kind of like, remember when Reggie left, everything, it was like very humble and nice. And when Layden left, it was like,
they shook hands,
Grievous,
had a ceremony and shit. And
yeah, they were just like, Grievous, we're so sad. And that's it. Done. One tweet, fuck off, Sean.
Like, Sean got drop kicked out the window, right?
Andrew House said, "Fuck this shit. I'm going to Nissan." That's where he works now, by the way. If you guys don't know,
did you go see him? Which one does he work at?
No, he's like Nissan corporate or something like that.
He's just at the dealership in your town. Hello,
dealer.
What?
Good impression.
Not too bad.
That whole starting 5 is completely gone. That's why it's I
Starting
sit
five.
back-
The All Stars
No,
are gone.
No, the PlayStation All Stars, like the corporate All Stars that everybody like so proudly love and everything. They're all gone. They think that this is the same people that launched the PS4 that's launching the PS5, and it's not.
Even if
look
it
at how
was, they're not launching. They're not playing the same damn crusty ass team they were playing in 2013. You're not playing that Xbox. Sorry.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's a lot different now. I mean, they've made so many changes already since Jim Ryan took over. It's crazy that this landscape is changing, and that's what we keep telling people here on RDX is that things are changing in the industry. Nobody wants to hear us.
Been telling them for years, Fonzarelli. You've been there. All the games are going to more places. All this shit they brag about. I told them they're naked on the side of the highway. Sony and Microsoft are already fucking 50 miles down the road. And yes, Colt, they're naked for a reason. So it's just how it is, okay? But at the end of the day, like that's where we found Woomy. Woomy, 106 million sold. Very impressive. I think it finally outdid the Wii from Nintendo. So the Wii was better than the PS4 for 7 years, and now PS4 is finally better than the Wii according to their logic. What are your thoughts on that? Because it sold
I
more.
really don't care.
All right. Thanks, Woomy.
I mean, honestly, doesn't matter.
He's so underwhelmed that he almost fell asleep in the middle of a sentence.
No, I'm actually sitting here playing my Switch right now. So.
Dealer,
Thanks for your undivided attention, bitch.
I'm on the opposite of that coin. I watched that, and when I saw that 106 million sold, I jumped for joy. I was sitting there going, yes, sales.
I called you. I was like, Fonz, we're on the winning team. We have PS4s.
Yeah. I said, I knew it. That's why I bought a PS4 day one. That's why I bought the PS4 Pro. Suck it, Xbox.
It whispered. Well, no, you shame your PS4 Pro. It's in the closet downstairs because it didn't sell 106 million.
Well, right now it's really dusty. I'm not even lying. It's really dusty.
What are you talking about, Fonz? Didn't you just play Death Stranding?
No.
No, I didn't say that. Hey, Beaner. Okay, Beaner, you keep saying things I can't say, buddy. I guess the chat can read it. Thank you so much for the super chat, though. Shinsai says, so hyped for the next next Xbox Series X. Can't wait for E3. Hope to meet some of you guys there. Yeah, I think that's our plan, is to be there. So that'll be pretty interesting. We'll see how that works out.
Colt's buying us all tickets.
Yeah, and Tim Dog's going to buy us all Xbox.
Actually, wasn't there a deal if there was over 1,300 watching tonight? Somebody was
no, we raised that because that was Tim Dog went bankrupt now, so we had to raise.
We get sandwiches, dude. We get sandwiches. I don't want to hear it.
Mm-hmm. Well, we do have to give a shout out to 1,500 people watching this live, guys. Thank you so much for what you do. Hit that like button if you haven't. Let's try to. We've already crushed both the goals. Fuck it. Let's try to go for 1,000. If you're watching after the fact, especially, you guys are awesome. Share this out, help us out a little bit.
That's insane.
Dealer, you know what they did show that I was questioning.
We've only been doing it for years, and I've been doing this channel for like 5 years. It's the damn grind, man. I'll tell you that. But we got a great community.
Yeah, I don't look at the numbers much at all ever. Like when they talk about the numbers, even when Xbox did, like I didn't care. Oh, this is the number of players that are actively on Xbox Live, that sort of thing. I don't really pay attention to that stuff, but when they were showing this stuff on the screen, I looked at the numbers of the users for PlayStation Network, and I was wondering, is that a little low? It's like a third of their.
What was it?
It was like 33 million or something. I don't know, something like
that.
Yeah,
you got to remember too, and even developers like Ubisoft have said this, like we make more money per customer on Xbox because they're more active, they buy more DLC. Like it's a more online engaged community. I don't really think that's debatable, but some will try.
Yeah.
Console sales are definitely definitely not as important as they used to be because now there is a multitude of delivery methods for the content. That's the difference. Like back in the day, when you had Super Nintendo versus Genesis, that's the only way you could get your game. You needed a console, and the more consoles you could sell, it meant better chances you were going to sell more games. Right now, of all of the three players or the three major, it matters more to Nintendo because their adoption rate is the highest per platform, right, for their first-party software, but they don't have anywhere else that you can go and get Breath of the Wild or get Legend of Zelda. You got to get a Switch to play it. Whereas Xbox, and again, Mike Ybarra alluded to it, sales of the console are secondary because, again, you can, if you've already got a PC set up, you can get Game Pass, you can get those games there. So there's 3 or 4 different ways you can consume the Xbox product. I don't know why this doesn't make a lot of sense to people. Why it's, consoles still matter. Don't get anywhere wrong. If they didn't, they wouldn't make them at all. But again, like we've seen this time and time again with Sony, they're selling tons of consoles, but they're selling more consoles for Fortnite and selling consoles for Madden than they're selling consoles because people want to play God of War and Spider-Man. Those are amazing.
Well, think
games,
about it too. Like
the numbers don't lie.
The more people
either.
that share. Do you still do? You do Gaming After Dark still, or are you on a break?
I just started it back up last night, bro.
Oh, awesome! So okay. I didn't know that, Noof. Well, okay. Let's say we all go and share Noof's last podcast. The more platforms and things you share that on, the more that, that's going to get seen. And that's Microsoft's philosophy. Fuck locking it down to only Facebook. Not that many people are going to see it. We're going to share it to YouTube. We're going to share it to everywhere. Okay? Like, that's the same logic there.
What if Star Wars were only shown in a movie theater like that was
only on VHS? Yeah.
Well,
yeah. Right?
Honestly, even Mike Ibarra himself had said in that same thread that, and I say this too, I say it all the time, that I wish I could buy one system to play them all.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be forced into buying something I don't need to buy. That's just something I don't want to do. Now, if there is a game or whatever, since they are still exclusive on PlayStation 5, I will be buying a PlayStation 5 because of that reason. But hell yes, if I could play a PlayStation 5 game on one console along with the Xbox games, I would do it.
Hey, I gotta get to Juan real quick because he's been waiting for a minute. I gotta answer Juan's question. Thank you so much for super chat, buddy. He says, I love the channel. What if both consoles are $499? Got friends where $499 is too much, or the same price basically. He's saying, he wants to be able to keep contact with those people and maybe have both consoles be the same price so people can kind of upgrade. Well, I know with the Xbox and I'm sure with the PS4, they're going to use the same online, so you should be able to still talk to them. And I'm pretty sure Microsoft games at least will be supported first party for quite a while on the old stuff as well. But yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't see the PS5 being 500, and I honestly don't see the Series X being anywhere near 400. So it'd be very, very hard one to stretch. Bud, what were you saying when we had? All right,
I didn't say anything.
Who was it? Who was talking a second ago? Who was that? Oh, was that you? Knew?
That was me. I was saying no.
God, D, all the opposite. Okay, I got you.
All the messaging that Sony has said how they want to bring over the PS4 base as quick as possible to the PlayStation 5 says that they're going to have an attractive price point. Attractive price point for the next generation consoles is $400. Now, $400 is going to get you a good console, but it's not going to get you the best, right? And at the same time, if I was a Sony fan completely and I didn't care about Xbox side, 9.2 teraflops is still pretty good. If they could do what they did with 1.8 teraflops on the PlayStation 4, 9.2 teraflops is plenty. The system is going to look great. And, for Xbox guys, you're going to have the top of the tier. And if you don't want to pay for that, you're going to have the Lockhart. I think all these consoles, they're going to balance well. I think it was really smart on Microsoft's part to have the Lockhart, because not everyone's going to want the most powerful console. Everyone's not going to want to pay that money. And $200, $300, whatever the Lockhart's going to be, is going to be a really attractive price. And especially compared to the PlayStation 5, or maybe some guys will go out and grab a PlayStation 5 and a fucking Lockhart. Who knows? But options are always good, man. I'm excited. I think $399 though is realistic.
Hey, I gotta read Sir X-Man's comment. He says, support USA Real Craftsman tools and Xbox and Dodge. Dodge isn't American anymore, bud. They got bought up by they are no longer an American company. But either way,
I have to say
Mercedes,
though, I get what you're saying, D, about that. Like, people don't care, but I don't know, man. I feel like when shit starts being shown, like actual like games running on this console, because let's be real, developers are not going to show the Lockhart or whatever version of the game when they put a trailer out. They're going to show the highest version of that,
just like
they're going
today,
to show the Xbox Series X, just like they always do, and or the Xbox One X and all that. And come on, or you're going to have people from IGN restarting Red Dead Redemption again on Xbox Series X, right? Or the Xbox One X.
You think they'll update that, though, Zach? Or they're very stubborn about that?
Well, no, I'm just...
I just want your opinion real quick. Come on now.
No, they're not going to update
No Red Dead patch. Zucker said it here first.
No, but what he's saying essentially that is whatever game's out then at that time, during the Series X launch. They're not going to replay a game that they started on the other console, say the PS5, and jump to the X if it looks better. So
Well,
unless they're on
what I'm
Xbox
saying is
today,
IGN
where the cloud
IGN
saves are
guy-
universal and free, you know, you're on an X today.
Well, the
you know,
the
boot it up.
IGN guy did that, right? He started Red Dead all over, right, to go to the Xbox One X, is how good it looked, and that's what people are going to do. You don't think that people are going to see a trailer, like casual fuckers, going to see a trailer and go buy a console and be like, "Why doesn't it look like it did there?" And they're like, "Well, because you didn't buy the Xbox Series X."
Yeah,
Because that's
or
where
an
it's
X.
gonna
You
look.
didn't start this game on the last Xbox, and you boot it up on the Series X, and boom, you get a patch. Your old save transfers right over through the cloud instantly. On PlayStation, I learned this the hard way. I lost my Uncharted 4 save on my new profile. I've been in Uncharted 4 on someone else's PS4. My new profile, I don't even have that game completed because I lost my save, was not a PS Plus member, and on top of that, I did not manually go and hit a button and tell it to transfer my cloud saves. They are not automatic on PlayStation. You can look this up. I've tried to look for this
That's
100
the
times.
reason why I didn't beat The Last of Us. I was like 75%
you're
through it.
fraud.
No. Because my first PlayStation came with The Last of Us. It was like bundled in or something like that. And then when I upgraded to, I believe one of the Star Wars ones, I think it was the Dark Vader. I don't know if it was the Dark Vader one or the Batman when I bought one.
Darth Vader one was pretty fire.
Yeah, when I went to I downloaded the game, I was like, all right, well, let me finish this off, and I realized there was no option to continue, and I'm like, okay,
Yep.
and I didn't realize until later that I had to download it into the cloud and then all this other bull crap. So I was like, well, won't be doing that again.
Yeah.
I didn't know that did that.
Is that
I
a
didn't
PS Plus
know about
feature?
That's a PS Plus feature,
you
and
have
you
to
have
have
to
PS
do it.
Plus for it.
You have to
Yeah,
do
you
it. You
have
have to
to
do it
have it.
manually on top of that. You have to go in and transfer the save manually in your
Oh,
thing. So.
You're telling me when I didn't have PS Plus and I beat all those games, it didn't count?
No. Like if you
No,
if you beat all those games, you didn't have PS Plus, and you didn't manually go in and hit start on the save data, and then manually transfer it to the cloud, which you have to have PS Plus to do, and that PS4 got ran over, you lost all of your save data, not your profile and stuff like that.
PS4
And that
got run
happened
over.
Yeah.
That happened to me as well. I believe it was
Your
my
PS4 got
PlayStation
ran over?
Pro.
What are you saying, D?
No, I said it happened to me too. My PlayStation 4 Pro, it overheated one
Here
of
we
the
go.
early editions, and I didn't have cloud. I didn't have PS Plus at the time, and I didn't realize that the cloud saves were tied to the PS Plus. So I just packed it up and sent it away. Got my new one and wanted to boot it up, and there was fucking nothing there, man.
This is going to become a thing that all Xbox dudes that just bought a PS4 say, well, it happened to me too.
Hey, no. I mean, I was misinformed by somebody who play all day. That fraud told me cloud saves worked on it, and he didn't even know it. So this is something that people just don't know. So just know that.
I didn't know. And I've been a PlayStation fan for years, and I didn't know.
Yeah.
That's
So you can do it now, Fonz. Next time you dust that bitch off, go in there and you have to push start on it and go in and transfer it. But Assassin Lupus, shout out to her. I talked to her a couple weeks ago. I think it was about a month ago on Xbox. She says Xbox, basically, have they attained any new studios? Do we have any new information or rumors on that, Colt, at all?
I have no idea. I haven't heard anything.
He's pulled the sand out of his
Well, we
head out
talked
of his
about
head.
it last week, right? Didn't we talk about it last week? Kind of like Microsoft was in Poland. That was a big rumor that they're in Poland looking at certain studios, and one of the ones that everybody thinks is People Can Fly, the people behind Gears Judgment.
Now, you remember the day after that when that article hit that Bethesda was rumored to be being bought by Sony?
Yep.
Now, what's funny about that is we almost talked about Bethesda and CD Projekt Red being basically, apparently they're up for sale in some way. Like they basically want to be bought, or ZeniMax want to get rid of everything. They want to be sold off. And CD Projekt Red is apparently, even though they're openly traded, I think they want to sell some stuff there. And we knew about that day, and we didn't talk about it because I wasn't sure if we were cool to. But the next morning, that article hit of Sony rumored to be buying Bethesda, and I was like, "Fucking! If this could not be a coincidence, right?" Because I knew it wasn't a lie. I heard that they were for sale from someone very, very trustworthy. So if Sony buy Bethesda Xbox, this will never be let down. You will be super fucked, I think. I mean, you really got to jump on a big group of studios like this. Like, they need another big team or another set of big teams, I think.
I'm surprised it's not, honestly, if they actually want to try. I'm surprised Google isn't going after them.
They probably are. That's the thing. That's the thing.
That's the big one. I think if Google gets them, that would be huge for their platform.
Or Amazon, but that would suck too. Elder Scrolls 6 comes out and they're like, it's exclusive to Stadia, and you're like, I don't want to stream that trash. Like, I don't want to have to stream a game. At least let me play it locally. Don't exclusify it.
Stadia is awesome.
Stadia has failed. Like
Stadia has failed.
Stadia has
I haven't
failed.
fucking turned it on. Like Stadia sucks.
Oh my god, D! After the years of hype from D. Bats,
D.
D, what is the turnaround, bro? You were like hyping this up like it was the next.
He's not the only one, man. There's people in this community that somehow thought that was going to be a great success.
They don't have any games. That's the problem. They have no fucking games for it.
They do, but you already played them all.
Exactly.
You don't want to replay Tomb Raider?
And D, if you watch my last video, D, at the very end, I have all the list of every game coming out in 2020 for Stadia. Not many.
The service works. It works. It's fucking a good service, like for what it does. But there's just no content on there. There's not that many players on there.
Oh man.
It's just
this is why we have always said that xCloud would win, because of compatibility alone. Every Xbox game works, Xbox Live works. You can transfer local saves, all your stuff transfers, like your friends carry over. Like it's
I'm in the
beta.
I'm actually doing the xCloud thing right now, and it's fucking amazing. Like ever since I tried the xCloud thing, I was like, oh.
Do you see as how you jinx things? Say it sucks, please, because you're on that Stadia.
He's right.
xCloud's amazing. Nothing's gonna jinx that. It's amazing, literally.
It works great. xCloud does work great.
I have to. Isn't it like the beta in xCloud has like 50 whatever games? 50 plus
50 games for free.
It has more. Yeah, for free, and it has like way more than Stadia. How many does Stadia have?
Gosh, Fonz's video when he said updates on Stadia.
Oh god.
I would say maybe 20.
Dealer, you need to handle PlayStation greatness. He said you were backpedaling on the 9 teraflop rumor.
The what teraflops?
The 9 teraflop rumor.
Hey, PlayStation greatness, put your face up screen so I like smack the shit out of you, buddy. All right. Dron Zua in the super chat, by the way. RDX best gaming podcast out there. Did you guys pick up how I was backpedaling 9 teraflops? How did I do that?
You're backpedaling all the time.
I'm not even in a boat, bitch. How am I backpedaling anywhere? What's going on? No, I'm not the only one. It's not like I'm making this up. Digital Foundry telling you this too. So, yeah. 9 T-flops looking like for
funny.
PS4, but for $100
we have an actual run of this. This is like it's not a
hardware testing. And somebody was like, "Well, what about all the countless devs that have admitted that the PS5 dev kit's more powerful than the Xbox?"
And then what about Phil Spencer 6 months later saying, "We're just now sending out those dev kits"?
Yeah.
Oh no, Phil Spencer lied again. Oh no, oh boy. So again, ridiculous. Crackheads need to start reading. All right, it's not that hard. Let's go ahead and move. At a point, you do come off like an asshole, but at a point, you also get tired of dealing with idiots. Like, it isn't hard to Google the shit before you talk or type. Typing isn't even that easy, according to most of you. So why don't you use that limited typing skill and use it on Google, okay? And clip that, by the way. So let's go ahead and move on to different topics. Let's move on to some topics, and let me wipe my boots off real quick. We've got CES. We've talked about that. Oh, here's something interesting. So the whole port situation. Brad Sams reportedly, he's like, video time. He reported on the port situation on the back of the Series X, and basically there was a render that AMD had released out there that, like I said, they hadn't made. They hired a third party company to do it. That back of the Xbox shot is not accurate, and Microsoft, it's so inaccurate, in fact, that Microsoft have actually clarified that they spoke out about that, meaning that they do not want you to expect something to be on this thing that was shown in that shot. We later then get some information saying that there will only be one HDMI port on the back of the Series X, and if that sounds familiar, that's because that's what I told you I was hearing probably a month ago. Well, no, it's about a month ago. It's right after the reveal. So that, I'm thinking that source is accurate. I think that's real. Do you think there's going to be a port on the back of this thing, D?
Well, the initial reveal of it, you could see 2 ports on there. But
you're talking about the motherboard, right?
Yeah. So but of course they can make revisions, and really, like, for the nostalgia purposes, yeah, sure, I want it. But realistically, who the fuck?
Nostalgia.
Really? Yeah. No. Well, the original, the OG Xbox, because I like that features of the Kinect, turning my TV on and off, all that bullshit. But realistically, nobody uses that feature, so it's an added extra cost for something that a very small portion of the day.
D, that's like been alleviated. I'm running a which shall be not named, a little Amazon device. If I talk to me right now.
Adam just crushed the motherfuckers in the super chat. He said the same. This is from Adam Open. Sorry, I'm never gonna be able to pronounce it. I am never gonna be unless I talk to you in voice chat and you tell me. Add me on Xbox. II space dealer space II. Message me. He says the same people who have great memory, the same people who have great memories about what the developers say about the difference between the. Basically, these motherfuckers remember shit they don't remember, but they don't remember. They're so worried about people remember the difference between the X and the Series X, which is perfect. He says they look like clowns. I agree. Well said.
What the heck were we talking about?
I don't know. The ports.
Yeah, the ports. Yeah, you can use an Amazon device to volume up, volume down, record, screenshot, launch games, everything that the Kinect did, because that's all anybody used it for. But the problem with the one HDMI port D-batch is people can no longer bring their satellite or dish box into the Xbox and use the TV guide, which one of my friends is really upset about that because that he uses that all the time. He still has cable. So that's like a loss for him.
Me too.
Don Magic popped up and said, well, go down to a submarine and plug in an Xbox One.
And the other thing is Brad Sams reported on, he got some supposed inside information about what the back panel really has configured. And he says it has 2 type A USB slots, not USB-C.
So D-Batch real quick, do you know the exact difference between those 2 slots?
Yeah, I think the connection is the opposite, right? So you plug it in and the out.
Never mind, D-Batch's internet has other plans.
Try again, you broke up.
Maybe somebody in the chat can tell us. I don't know the exact bandwidth difference between A and C. There's Lightning, and then there's Thunderbolt, and then there's C and A.
I don't know the bandwidth difference, but I know that USB-A is the older type. It's not the Type C that's the newer type of.
Yeah, and we've been hoping or predicting that it would have Type C USB ports. Are you back, D?
Zucker, you could always Google this too. Be useful, you little fraud.
Like for one time we're stumped on a USB.
No, I don't know enough about the 2 differences.
I don't either.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
USB Type C is basically like the it's got more bandwidth, obviously, and it's the new type connector that you get with, like, I don't know, your Samsung phones, the newer one, right? So it doesn't matter which way you plug it in; it just plugs in one way.
Yeah, but we're talking about the big end of the USB-C on the back, USB port, the big rectangular end. And according to Brad Sams, it's a Type A USB port, not a Type C, which would have a higher bandwidth, I'm assuming. Maybe No Rush can help us out with this. Maybe
I would hope that all of the ports had the same bandwidth for uniformity, but
yeah, it doesn't. USB-A is definitely smaller. It's the older type. That's not good.
That's a problem. If they put a C port on the front and you want to put in an external drive to expand an external SSD, which I already bought.
It looks like nothing else is on the front. Everything's on the back, isn't it?
There is one port on the front, isn't there?
I don't know. I've got a question from Johnny Lasagna real quick. He says if Xbox just put out their development kits, by the way, Phil confirmed this back in November. So these developers, quote unquote, were saying this 6 months before Phil said that. And they knew about Lockhart the same way that I knew when Lockhart existed, the same way Brad Sams did, is because of these documents that were leaking out on the back end. A lot of that stuff. So thank you so much, Johnny. I'm sure there's more to it. They also had simulation rigs that were basically what they would call them, where they kind of have a rough idea and they would start targeting that hardware well before the dev kits are out.
Are you guys sure it's USB Type A on the back of it?
That's what Brad Sams is saying, that he got a source reached out to him and explained what the back configuration looks like. 2 vents on the bottom with a port configuration in the middle, kind of like you'd have on a desktop PC tower. And then there was a horizontal section that said Xbox. He drew it up, so maybe somebody sent him a sketch. He made it look nicer, but I don't know how much of that to really understand and believe. But he said there's also a larger slot that looks like you could plug in some kind of device or some type of slot, maybe for maintenance testing. It was
Most
kind
likely.
of a strange video.
Everything else out there now is pre-production or dev kit.
Right.
Like a prototype phase, like Phil's is not a production version, obviously. Hang on, I was proud to see somebody in the chat. I saw somebody in the chat, and I was just absolutely stunned and proud that J-Tech has taken the time to listen to us himself instead of listening to people lie about what we say. Shout out to J-Tech TV. He says, what 2020 Xbox One exclusive will you guys be playing over the next 10 months? Well, I know that there's not a ton of big AAA games, the ones I'm looking forward to personally, but what there is Halo Infinite. I will be checking that out for sure. That game looks gorgeous. And hopefully another Forza game, obviously. That's not confirmed, though, JTech. Don't tell them I said that. And there's a ton of big third-party games like Assassin's Creed Ragnarok, and hopefully that damn Batman game that will be out, and there'll be a ton of stuff to play.
That just eludes you, that Batman game.
It's weird. It's almost as sneaky as Batman himself.
Yeah.
Doc, you wouldn't know that. You haven't seen the latest movies. I'm probably sure about that.
What?
Hey, Joker came out today, by the way. So
It did. I'm renting that bitch tonight, probably watching it.
Well,
I'd like to reverse it and ask what JTech TV is going to play on his PS5 that's exclusive in 2021.
Yeah, Jay, that is a good question, JTech. What are you going to be playing on your PS5 that Sony confirmed? Well, nothing. So until they do,
Oh my gosh. Be nice.
I'm sure. That's not said in a hateful way. Actually, I was on JTech's show. They were very nice to me when I was there.
Yeah, I was on there too.
Then I left and the swords came out. So you know what happens. Jay, shout out to Jay though.
You mean daggers?
Little tiny sporks, yes. It was great. It actually wasn't a bad show. I actually learned. That's why I like to do those shows on maybe platforms and that people just spend a lot of time in the comments line about things you've said. I go there and I'm like, nope, never said that. That's what I said. Here's the link. Boom. It's that easy to kind of communicate with people, and that's a big problem in the communities. People don't communicate. That's why they hate each other and they never even met them. They have no fucking clue what those people are like. So
I like how you have the Sony guys in the chat going, JTech TV just got him, when there's absolutely zero exclusive games coming out at launch for the PS5.
What? Dealer just explained the games he was going to play and what Xbox exclusive he's looking forward to.
Yeah, I just want to be clear. Microsoft factually do have more announced for the Scarlett. They
have 12 games coming out next year.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no,
10 or 12.
As of right now.
When it comes down to first party, I haven't heard anything for the PS5 side, and I'm excited for the PS5. So I'm waiting.
We're all getting it day one, pretty much. Yeah. So,
gentlemen, logo creator.
I'm almost certain Knack 3 is coming. So,
Knack 3, Kid Smooth confirmed. Wilmy Hood, what are you playing day one on your PS5? He said Steam.
Yeah, that's not gonna be it.
Godfall, but
Godfall, that's third party.
I'm interested in Godfall. I'll definitely check it out.
By the way, that's pretty much been confirmed to be a year timed exclusive. So JTech, you might not want to play that one.
I double dip on both consoles quite often.
Or spoil the story, either one.
Dislike Squad, mount up.
The logo creator.
Logo creator.
Yeah, that's gonna be an exclusive, right?
Ooh,
it might be.
Gosh.
It might be. It's a good idea. You can do it in VR.
Send all hate messages to Wilmy Hood on Twitter.
Do DLC for Concrete Genie where he paints on the side of a building the PS5 logo over and over.
That's why I like Colt. He read my mind on that.
1,500 people watching. Woo!
Oh my God! Now we got Colt doing that shit.
Oh man, there went my ear.
Yeah.
You have one ear.
So that resonated through my guitar strings on the
luckily
the room.
I didn't have both.
There are more people in here watching this podcast, and they've come out to the theaters to watch me in the last couple. Very impressive.
How dare you talk shit about Arnold that way?
We've had more people here watching this show than anybody watched that movie Cats. So that's
Willie Hood.
I can't help but to look at them things like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's pretty creepy.
Yeah, it's even more creepy than Mike Austin Powers doing the Cat in the Hat. I don't know if you guys remember that. But anyway, the I.O. stuff is not accurate. Just take that with a grain of salt. Microsoft confirmed that themselves. Windows Central confirmed that as well. We're hearing it's got one HDMI port, as we said quite some time ago. But again, could change. Next gen game also confirmed over CES, which was very interesting. Reports of behind the scenes look at a new Lord of the Rings Gollum game of some kind. And I'm thinking, like, who the fuck wants to play a Gollum in a cave for 30 years? I don't know exactly what you do in this Gollum game, but it has been confirmed for PS5. A lot of people are running around saying that's going to be exclusive, but it was confirmed for Xbox One, or Series X rather, as well today. So yeah, it's coming to both, naturally. That's probably from Monolith Studios at WB. Shout out to WB. They've been hiding in a cave for 30 years as well. They've been nothing come out from them since, what was it, Colt? Was it Shadow of War in 2017?
Yeah, I guess it would be.
What have they been doing? It's like they ripped down all their buildings and said, let's just build these back again. And
maybe they're taking their time and making sure that the next Batman game is totally amazing. And
wouldn't that be awesome?
But they're making
it
a
has to
Gollum
be.
game.
Well, that's that's Monolith Studios, though. They've got several teams working. They got WB Montreal, which is the one building the Batman game. They are being led by Patrick Redding of Splinter Cell Blacklist. And then they've got Rocksteady, one of the best studios there are. Haven't made one damn game this whole generation. That's unfortunate, but hopefully it's awesome. Whatever they're doing next. We hear it's the Suicide Squad game. Hopefully that's not true. Well, and then you've got that one.
Has Monolith put out a bad game, though?
Oh, NetherRealms. They just put out Mortal Kombat, but other than fighting games, I mean, WB hasn't put out much. Yeah.
Question for you guys. Do you guys think Xbox should try to get a license agreements with like a Marvel IP or DC IP, and do you think that would be beneficial to them?
It would be cool.
I mean, how would it not benefit them? It's like the most recognizable, we have Thor or whatever, we have Captain America or we have Superman or whoever, Wonder Woman. It's like, yeah, of course that would help them, but
Aquaman.
Who knows? Aquaman the game.
Soccer?
Like, I don't know.
Awesome.
Like, I mean, it would be cool, but I don't see it happening.
Ice Boy game.
Ice Boy.
Hey, Johnny Lasagna wants to know if there's a really good Photoshop app for Android.
There is one, but I remember not be able to do what I want, and you have to buy the full version. I think.
There's one called Autodesk Pro. It's pretty good.
Well, in either case, Barry, again, a damn Gollum game coming out. NetherRealm are pretty much the only ones producing out of WB right now, aside from like some little games like Cars and stuff. We did cover the 106 million copies sold as well. And Phil Spencer talking again about he's trying to crush this dumb narrative that's been spun by people that have no actual proof of anything they say, and they literally go directly against the people that are continue to do Game Pass. Phil is saying that it is extremely successful. It is a viable business model, and they are not burning money. Another interview from another person at Microsoft says Game Pass will be on every device we make going in the future. Basically, it's not going anywhere, and it is not an experiment. This is a very viable business option. That means they are making money off of this thing. And think about it. As a customer, that's all you should care about. You should care about what you can save. And if you don't, if you're one of those people that thinks it's killing the industry and you got a skull face and you look like a fucking idiot, then, maybe think about yourself instead of the business that has $1 trillion in the bank. Think about yourself.
Your concern for Game Pass should be, are the games going to be good on it? So far, good, and very, very good, and they are the highest rated of any other service that exists out there.
I feel like it's just dumb if you even say anything about Game Pass.
That's the thing. It's completely optional.
I just think it's done.
Nothing's blocked behind it.
It's not even that. It's the business model was, I think, that like 2017 was kind of like, obviously that's the experimental time. And I think they realized, hey, we're making pretty decent money from this. Obviously, it's going to cost more if we expand it, which they did. But I think it's a way bigger success than they even thought. And I think it's actually starting to make profit for them. And they're putting way more money in it because they're like, if we're just barely scratching the surface and it's doing this, what can we do?
Yeah.
And it's done. It's over, people. Like, if you're complaining about Game Pass, you're a fucking moron.
The only negative I can see from it is because I have some friends that they like to just purchase their games outright physically and stuff, and I could understand on that end. But they say,
how's that a negative though? They can still do that.
No, but they even say, hey, Game Pass is a great deal, but it's just not for them.
Now, I'm not taking shots at anybody that prefers to. I'm one of the people that instead of getting it on Game Pass, unless I'm really on the fence, I will buy it. That's how I am. That's why I got 700. That's like 700 games, right? I know Noof prefers to buy his games, though still on donut form on disc. But either way, we all like to buy our games. My point is, people like my sister, my niece, they love Game Pass. They're casuals. They love the idea. I think it's pro-consumer as hell, and it doesn't take away from anyone's ability to play the games they want. It only provides more value, flexibility, and even after Microsoft confirmed, it raises the sales. I was told Gears 5 wouldn't sell any copies at all. So it's $1 on Game Pass. It already outsold Gears 4, according to Phil. So what more do you need aside from them already telling you that Sea of Thieves crushed its expectations? What else do you need besides all the stuff they lay out?
That's crazy what you just said. Like that doesn't come up anymore. Like people have been saying like almost every week on here that Gears 5 flop. Like I don't know. That's
again,
so
But
weird.
who cares? Like, who cares? Like, Game Pass has never gone after people that like buying their games like new for anybody. It doesn't fucking matter.
In fact, you actually get a discount in Game Pass if you're a member
Yeah.
to buy new games.
Yeah, so it's like, what's the point? Like, who cares? Why would you get mad? Like, why does that have to be a part of the subject with Game Pass?
Hey,
Like, it doesn't make sense.
I got to give a shout out because we've beaten this horse to death and then reincarnated it and then beat it again.
One sad fact of though, and I said this on my Twitter page the other day, like I went into the Microsoft store first time in a couple of months I was there, and they don't have a single physical game in their store anymore. And that was kind of disheartening, especially when, I'm a big fan and I like to consume. Like, I understand that retail space is going to dwindle because of the popularity of digital and Game Pass, but to take out that option completely, like out of your store, for even like a guy like me that wants to go in and buy a game, well, you can get them at other retailers, but the question is how much longer before that trickle down effect, if Microsoft is doing it, then how much longer before Walmart and
honestly,
those people start doing it?
Walmart already started doing it around here. And they did it before I even heard about the Microsoft store doing it. I think that at the end of the day, the online is going to be the last haven for digital. And I'm a guy that watches all the 4K Blu-rays physically. I understand that, you go pick a disc, make it a thing. But convenience kind of rules, at the end of the day with games, especially. Colt Boots want about 6 up every hour. You'll be playing something different. He jumps around a lot. A lot of people do. It's not a bad thing.
I do too. I've been doing that a lot lately.
So it's taste, and I'm surprised you even go to the Microsoft store, honestly, because Amazon, dirt cheap stuff there. I mean, you can get whatever you want from Amazon.com. Do you use that at all?
Yeah. Are you a Prime member, Noof?
Getting
I was going to ask you this the other day.
No, I don't subscribe to anything other than Netflix. I'm refusing to. There's just too many subscriptions.
No, it's just a store, man. You can go in and buy stuff like at a store. You can.
The Prime. Yeah, no, I mean, I'm an Amazon member, but I don't do the Prime.
If you're a Prime member, you can get those games 2-day shipping, and if they're not out yet, they're at your door on the day of release, and they usually have like 5 or 10% discounts sometimes.
Yeah, do they still do that thing? Yeah, I think back in the day I was able.
It's all physical games.
I think they got rid of the discount though.
Yeah, because I used to buy them when they were new. They were $12 off.
That's what Best Buy used to do. The same thing. The Gamers Club, you used to get like new games for however much like less.
Was that club built to cardboard? What the hell happened to it?
I don't know. They freaking stopped it because they were losing money. They literally we're done.
That's because people would get the game, come just bring it back, refund. I wonder why.
Yeah, after seeing that GameStop was using so much money, it was like, okay, we don't need to do this much longer.
GameStop this year is probably. I say they're really 2020 is. If they make it through 2021, holy shit.
Dude, I need them to survive this holiday so I can trade in my old consoles for the new ones.
You're gonna have to be. I mean, hey, it's all about supply and demand with them. And if they have a billion of them, they're gonna give you $6 for it. We'll see. Let me know, kid, for sure. I mean, in terms of, I get it, man. I'm a fan of gaming. I understand why people do it all. I just went physical around 2015, 2016, I think, something. So I understand
digital.
Wait a minute.
That's when I went digital.
You got a PS4, right, Smooth?
Yeah, Smooth has. Don't you?
Yeah, I have one.
So go ahead and trade your Xbox One X in now, because you ain't gonna need that bitch this year.
Well, see, my problem is that, right? I'm more than likely to trade in the PS4 Pro first, because I feel like I'm safely assuming that like Ghost of Tsushima and The Last of Us 2 would be backwards compatible, or at least co-releasing on the
they
PlayStation
come out before
5.
the PS5. Yeah, I think
they come out before. I mean, you got Ghost of Tsushima. That's summer. That's technically, they can literally hold that until like September. And if Ghost of Tsushima is going out in September, I'm not playing on the PS4. I'm just not at that point. I can wait 6 weeks.
You just want to have the best experience on the PS5.
Yeah. I'll hold out for that. The Last of Us, I'll probably be the last game I play on PlayStation, and then on PlayStation 4, and then after that, I'll hold off for the PS5.
Gotcha. Yeah, I hear you. It's a lot of people have the same mentality about the next Xbox. Shout out to Jazz. I wish he can't jump on the show until he goes back to the UK, but he does plan on coming on to RDX. It's going to be a great time.
He did send you a hot dog.
I did not see because I'm sitting on Zatanna's super chat because I talked to her on Xbox as
It
well.
was a nice hot dog dealer.
Enough hot dog talk, Colt. Okay. Talking about
Xbox ain't got
Zatanna
no
now.
hot dogs.
I talked to Zatanna on Xbox.
Juicy and moist.
Okay, I'm done. Shout out to Zatanna. I talked to her on Xbox, and we talked about an idea she had about getting polls onto like the Xbox community tab stuff, a way where developers can directly communicate with their fan base. So, for instance, if Gears of War 5, has a DLC drop 5 maps, and they put up a post on Xbox Live or throughout the Windows ecosystem on the Windows Store, wherever you are, the Xbox app, gamers want to be connected, and many go uninformed because that kind of information for feedback is usually taken on a forum or some place people don't know about. Well, she was talking to me about, getting this idea rolling or get it out there more for getting that put on Xbox. You scrolling through the community feed and, a developer put out a poll. What map looks the best? What would you guys like the best out of these 5 maps? We're adding a new one this month. What's the best thing that you guys want to see? And actually directly vote on that kind of stuff. And I don't think that's a bad idea at all. It's a little bit more, polls make perfect sense on a console like that. So that'd be really cool, at least for the developer to be able to do.
Should we charge real money for this skin? No! Okay. That would be nice.
Poll ignored.
Like
I don't know.
The coalition could really use like a way to connect with their fans, because I think their fans are all in agreement of what they want, and some stuff just didn't quite make it.
But either way, I told her, from what I was able to hear, like it seems like the Xbox team might actually drop a few things going into the next Xbox, and maybe they'll pick it up later, maybe they'll move it to mobile. We just don't know enough. I think their hands are kind of full right now, or tied right now, and they got, they're really worried about trying to get stuff set up for this new box. So it's a good idea, Zatanna, and I know we talked a couple times to party about it, but it's hopefully it happens. I think it's a good idea. If you guys want to see it, tweet at Xbox, tweet at Microsoft, and maybe ask them if they can put polls or a polling system into like the community tab or the community feature for that reason. Wouldn't hurt. And again, shout out to Zatanna, but it's already been 2 hours, man. And I did not know that. So that is a long show. We do appreciate it, guys, that we're still got 14.
Hang on. HR Bomber said, I still find it funny when people freak out and Colton dealers say they're getting a PS5.
Why?
I think
Why would they?
I think all of us on the RDX chat are getting one.
That's pretty bad, though. When people see one show, right, Colton, they have no clue like about all the other stuff we talk about, right?
Yeah, I mean, life changes, right? Because No Russian said, I think it's funny you guys at least you admit that you're getting a PS5. It's like, yeah, I mean, we've been saying it for a while, but I think back at 2013, 2014, like I wasn't going to spend money on both consoles. I had to make a choice. And a lot of people have to make a choice. And one of the cool things is these games are coming with you. So a lot of the hardcore PlayStation fans are going to stay on the ecosystem. And Microsoft's made this really enticing ecosystem. It's going to bring some people over and keep a lot of people on the Xbox. It's going to be a good generation. It won't be like the last one. And we were just talking last night, weren't we, Fonz, that nothing ever stays the same.
Well, No Russian's here every damn show. He should have heard us say this like 500 times before now.
Every week.
Yeah, I mean,
he was giving us props, when the way he said it.
Shout out to No Russian.
Yeah. But, go ahead, Fonz. We were talking
I was going to say every generation, there's been crazier things that have happened. More crazy than the 360, losing into this generation, Microsoft losing that race this generation. There's been stuff that's happened throughout every generation that we've seen. Lots of change.
The Nintendo Switch is one of the fastest selling consoles right now, and the previous one was their worst one ever.
Dude, it's funny you mentioned that, because somebody earlier mentioned that. They said, well, you Xbox, you say that sales don't matter, but look what happened to the Wii U. And I'm just laughing going, yeah, the Switch came along and dominated.
Yes,
look at what happened to the Wii U that also goes directly against what they preach. It had exclusives every single fucking month and didn't sell.
It just wasn't a great console. They're like, power doesn't matter. It's like, well, the Wii U had the games. It just wasn't the right thing, and it had a horrible market jump, just like the Xbox One did, and nothing ever stays the same. The only constant is the PlayStation's always done pretty well, and then sometimes it does really well, like the PS2 and the PS1 did really well. PS4's done extremely well, and Jim Ryan himself said it like 2 months ago. He said, "You're never guaranteed to have the same success you had last generation. They have to go all in." That's why you guys were quoting him saying they have to bring as many people as quickly as they can to the PS5 where they realize it's not a good console.
Hey,
you know what's funny?
I do want to give a shout out to Jez real quick. I did just see your super chat, buddy. What were you saying, Paul?
Yeah, you know what's funny though is that you know they talk all this stuff about the power doesn't matter and stuff like that, but yet these are the same guys that were saying power matters at the beginning of a generation. Okay?
Yes, they were.
And so the flip-flopping there is kind of funny. But what's even sadder is that we have grown men that sit through a 2-hour podcast that they don't even like.
Just to troll it. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean,
it
at the end of the
doesn't matter
day, at
because
the same time, though, like compared to how many people are here, they're very, very like, what is it? Less than.
Well, yeah.
I mean, it's a very, very
Out of
small group of
1,300,
dudes.
15.
Of course, because here's the thing, though. Whatever happens, it doesn't really matter. Play where you want to play your games. If you are happy with the console you have and the games you have, what does it matter that somebody else likes something else? It doesn't matter, people.
But just remember, guys, the moral of the story is Planet Coaster's coming to Xbox this year. And you're going to be able to build your very own roller coaster parks and have booths for people to get food. And you're going to have to, hopefully there's a zoo expansion. Am I the only one getting this?
Yeah, you are, dealer. You're the one.
What?
You are.
Okay.
I'll dabble.
This is not acceptable.
A new Connectimals?
I remember playing Roller Coaster Tycoon on the original Xbox. Shit was fire. What is Jez Pod? He said, what is this tiny podcast here? Yeah, shout out to Jez Corden from Windows Central. Shout out to you. Good guy.
This Jez.
Yeah, Jez is awesome. And Randall Thor, who is too cool to be here, of course.
Why doesn't
He's
Jez
not
ever
even
be
in the
on the
chat.
show? Why doesn't Jez ever come on the show?
Because Jez, he needs to be in a time zone, like when he visits the UK, that's when he said he'll be on. But the time zone's an issue and stuff like that for him to be on a mic, and it's not always suitable for everyone.
Hey, I forgot he's into tea and crumpets. I forgot.
No, he's in Germany, isn't he?
I think so. Yeah. So shout out to everybody who joined us here tonight, guys. We over 1,500 people tonight. You guys are awesome. Last week it was the same. The week before it was more. And I mean, show's come a long way in the past year. We've been keeping it going, and you guys keep showing up. Hit that like button and helping us out. You guys are awesome. And shout out to those who tune in. You don't agree. Guess what? That's okay. I only sound like an asshole because I get tired of it occasionally. But it's amazing how somebody's backtracking on 9.2 T-flops, and we didn't even fucking say that. So it's like, what are you listeing to? Wrong podcast. You probably
He's
listened
nice
to other
about it
podcasts that
here.
told you I backtracked just in live time when reacting to this one. Who knows? Right? So, not true. But at the end of the day, guys, anything else you kind of want to sum up? I don't remember what topic we were on. I just know it's been 2 hours and we got ass cheeks and they're falling asleep. Nope. All right. Kid Smooth, thanks for joining us, man. I do want to give a shout out to, again, everyone who stopped by. Shout out to Tim Dog, who'll be back next week. And of course, Fonz ended up making it, which is awesome. Kid, thanks for joining us, man. You're always welcome. Just hit me up anytime, bro. I mean, I as you guys see, I'm a little more apt to have more people on. It just depends on, I saw the message, right? So you guys are, I mean, of course, you guys are welcome whenever. Kid Smooth, where can people find you, bud? What have you been playing? And thanks for joining us.
Oh man, thank you for having me. It's been a blast. Love the podcast. Right now, I'm not really playing anything. I'm dibbing and dabbing here and there. But you can follow me on Twitter if you want me to just see me come at these PlayStation fanboys. But so follow me on Twitter at KidSmooth, Mixer.com/IamKidSmooth, and of course YouTube KidSmooth. Thanks, man.
Yeah, no problem, man.
I have a question for Kid, real quick.
What up?
How hot was that chip?
Dude, man, I don't even think about it, man.
Kid can't even taste
It
shit
didn't
to
even
this
have a
day.
flavor, man.
It just tasted like death.
Yeah.
This should be
he
worth
died,
it.
bro. I saw it on screen. I was wondering. I was like, "How's he here? Isn't he?"
How'd
dead?
that video do?
Dude, honestly, I think I don't know. I haven't looked. It was
You need to go
embarrassing.
check that, and I'll ask you again after the
It was embarrassing.
All right.
Perfect.
Yeah, it was very embarrassing. I didn't really rewatch it.
Kid looked like a soul was exiting his body when he ate that fucking thing. Oh shit, dude. Hey, shout out to Divine as well in the super chat. He wants to know if the hard drive situation is going to be any different given the SSDs. The only negative I had mentioned videos ago was the fact that externals would not have like the crazy load times of that, like 3 to 5 seconds and stuff like that I was talking about. I had heard that is not like universal, but only apply to things inside the box due to the SSD being basically, we're assuming that it's going to be connected onto the same circuitry as the GPU for lightning quick loads and a really good VRAM or virtual RAM solution. So your hard drives should still work, but you won't get the same load times as if they are internal. But yeah, I expect all hard drives to work. That's why I'm not buying mechanical ones anymore. I'm not going to have ridiculous load times on the internal and then mechanical hard drive speeds out. It's just going to be hard enough. But again, D-Batch, man, thanks for joining us as always. What have you been playing? And how do you like that new Sony logo?
Sony logo is fire.
Where can people find you, bud?
I've been playing a lot of COD lately. Been a lot of COD. That's it. You guys can catch me on Twitter at D_batch, and of course on YouTube at DBatch.
Yeah, follow D-Batch. He puts out good content. We've also got Fonzarelli, who just put out some. He's finally making videos again, and he promised you guys one of the last shows that he'd start making them every week. Where can people find you, bud? What have you been playing?
You can find me at The Grounded Gamer here on YouTube. And go watch my video. I just put it out yesterday. I'm doing gaming news of the week every Monday. So I'm doing that now. And plus, I'll add in whatever videos I can come up throughout the week if there's big topics, whatever.
And Fonz is doing a little surprise for each one.
Yeah.
Hopefully, everyone.
Hopefully, if I can.
I know that kind of stuff takes time, too.
It does. It takes a lot of time, but I will be putting out at least a video every Monday. But
awesome.
I've been playing lately. I've been playing a lot of different things, but the past few days I've been doing something that I've literally just loved. Watching my two youngest daughters go through games and beat games, and they beat Spider-Man on the PlayStation, and it was great to see them do that. And then they started playing Days Gone, and I'm laughing at them playing that game. It's hilarious. They get scared at some points, and it's just great. So I'm having a great time with that.
Hey, shout out to Crispy Bomb. He says, great show. I'm going to go play the Trash Gears game. That's funny because we were in a party with Crispy and, oh my God, Others Inc. We were in a party with Others Inc. I got him to sign my forehead. Yeah, Others Inc. Cool dude. First time talking to him. So shout out to Others Inc. I didn't actually see him in the chat.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, shout out to Others Inc. I'm obviously not able to pay attention, but
there was
Others Inc.
We had 12 of us.
We had Axel in there. We had AP the shooter. We had, of course, Crispy Bomb in there. We had Noof in there, and we had Dreadpool in there, and
and Immortal.
Yeah,
Immortal Jedi joined. Yes, I've been talking to him on Xbox for a while, but yeah, I mean, it was awesome. I'm glad Noof shot me that invite because it was cool to get to meet a lot of these guys and that kind of stuff. So really, really awesome party. Again, Noof. Speaking of, thanks for coming on, brother. It's nice to have you back on the show, man. Where can people find you, and what have you been playing?
But yeah, man, that was a blast the other night, and I appreciate you coming out. I saw you were kind of just hanging around the dashboard, and it's like, maybe Dealer would like to come play some Horde. And
if it's YouTube or dashboard, I'm usually not at the box, or I'm fucking doing some other shit, in the background. But yeah.
But I caught you at a good time. You came over, like I said, we had a blast. We had a big party. We were shooting the breeze, and Colton, everybody kind of jumped the board, and we had some great laughs while we were playing that. It was great. And like I said, Others Inc., man, that dude is a beast at Gears. Holy mackerel! Did he ever carry most of our asses?
Yeah.
To that one. But yeah, man, you guys know where to find me. Always in the gutter. No, it's Noof Nukem on Xbox, Noof Nukem 76 on PlayStation, and if you haven't heard already, Gaming After Dark is back. We had our first podcast last night, right after Primetime Gaming, and it went over very, very well. So yeah, off to a good start. Me and Primal are back, excited to be back doing this stuff and all that good stuff, man. But anyway, your chat was awesome. Can't believe, man, over 1,500 here. That's insane, man. Congratulations. And thank you guys for all the support, Dealer, everybody on the panel. Like I said, I finally hit that 1,000 subs, man. It means a lot to me. I know it's small chump change, but we all start somewhere, and that's kind of a milestone, and I never really thought I'd hit it, but I'm finally there, and hopefully I'll keep plugging forward.
Hey, man, we all hit that 1,000 subs at one point, like, seriously. So, I mean, it's, I remember doing it. I
remember the day, yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. So it's all a journey, man, and once you start getting your stuff out there a little more and that whole thing works itself out, like, it ain't nothing stopping you, brother. It's just, make sure it's what you want to do with your time, because it takes fucking time, that's for sure. Noof Nukem, everybody.
Maybe one day I'll hit that 1,000. Maybe one day.
You were already past 1,000. Starting, you lit your old channel on fire and walked away. You're like, fuck these guys.
Aren't you close? Aren't you close again?
I did like 885 subs. Something.
And Fonz, if this were a movie, Fonz would have been the Karate Kid that just looked at Miyagi and just walked away and said, "Fuck the karate lessons." He never really maximized his potential. But now, with this latest decision to really focus on YouTube, he's running back towards his
Those
real
fucking fences.
destiny here. He's supposed to have some more subscribers. He does great stuff.
Thank you.
So,
Appreciate it.
Fonzarelli, you're a fraud, but I'm glad you're making videos again. And
I appreciate the fraudulent comments.
yeah, if you don't check out Fonz, check him out. He puts in a lot of effort. So, we've also got Wilmy Hood, man. Thanks for coming on, brother. Even though you didn't care about half the shit I asked you about, man, it's good to have you on here.
Oh, I did, dude. I was totally while I was playing Zelda on my Switch. It's always fun to be on here with you guys, except for Colt. He kind of worries me because he's always sending me weird, creepy messages.
Yeah.
But
be nice.
I just had to go there. But the takeaway, man, for everybody in the chat, 2020 is going to be a great year for gaming. Just enjoy your games, man. We got all kinds of crazy shit coming our way this year.
Hell yeah.
So, I mean, just enjoy gaming, man. It is what it is. Like Fawn said earlier, it's a hobby. That's all there is. It's not,
No, this is
not
war,
that serious.
motherfucker. What are you talking about?
This is a plastic war.
Somebody,
Yeah.
it's pretty weird, but people will say this community is so weird for what it does and then stab each other over grown men playing sports games or,
and everybody,
shoes.
everybody has to remember too, in the greater scheme of the gaming world, all of us that are on social media, all of us on YouTube, we're just a small fraction of the real gamer community.
Mhm.
There's billions of gamers in the world. We're just a small slice of them. So, I mean, we can sit here all night. We can, joke or we can talk trash about different things, but in the big scheme, it really doesn't matter.
Thanks,
So,
Wilmy
just
Hood.
enjoy what you got.
I'm crying from sadness now knowing that nothing we do matters. God damn it. No,
Wilmy,
I
you
get what
hit
you're
it
saying,
on the
Wilmy.
head. This year is going to be phenomenal for games.
Oh, it is.
I think it's going to be better than 2018, to be honest.
Oh, by a long
2018?
stretch.
Yeah.
2018.
The hell games are you guys seeing? It's confirmed. Shit.
We've got
Is there a list out
Cyberpunk
there?
around the
Cyberpunk
corner.
and The Last of Us 2. That's all I
Dude.
need right there.
Oh,
Mm,
yeah.
Yeah.
Doom, Eternal.
Oh, that's going to be fire.
Come on, man. There's all sorts of games.
There's that damn Marvel game that I should be way more hyped for, but I'm just not.
The Bambi game.
Ah,
That-
we don't know if
that
that's 2020, Zocker. Stop hyping everyone up.
I'm sorry.
That Marvel game, I'm with you, dealer. It's kind of like you want to get hyped for it, but then you look at it and it just there's something about it where you're like, I don't know.
It's got to be the fact that I watched Thor juggle a security guard in the air for 30 seconds, beating the fuck out of him with that hammer. I'm like, hey, what? Like, if this were an Arkham game, I feel like I'd be way more excited and happy.
It looks like they did like a local casting call. Like they went to a small town and said, "Hey, we need someone that looks like you'll do."
You know what's weird, Cole, is they have all this legendary talent. They got Kate from Gears, right? Very, very great voice actor. They got Nolan North. They got all these people. And every line I hear just doesn't sound like it's well written. It sounds kind of corny a little bit, a lot of it. So it's kind of like this podcast. So again, I mean, I want to play the Avengers game, but I'm just not super hyped. I'm going to play it, but I just wish I was a little more hyped for it. Let us know how you feel about that in the chat there. And of course, we don't have to have butter knife fight over differing opinions, just so you know. A Squad, shout out to you buddies in the chat. Shout out to all the channel members as well. Who did I not get here? Zalker, what have you been playing, buddy? Where can people find you?
People can find me on YouTube, Zalker87, Twitter, Zalker87, Mixer, Zalker87. Pretty much Zalker87 everywhere except for PlayStation. It's Zalker187.
Oh,
hang on. No, I looked you up and you're a fraud. You had played no games on there.
I got no games. I'm not gonna.
Yeah,
No,
believe it or
but,
not, chat, people tried to look up Zalker's PSN, like tried to expose them, and they were too stupid to understand they had the wrong account.
Yeah, somebody took my 87, Zalker87, so it wasn't me. It literally, that account hasn't played any game, but whatever. Anyways, yeah, you guys can find me there, and I've been playing. I played Witcher, then I started playing because I was watching Lord of the Rings, so I started playing Shadow of War. That game's fucking fun.
At least something got you to play a game. Shit.
Yeah, shit, no problem. Yeah, no, and honestly, I haven't played a lot. I've been doing a lot of things personally in life and everything. A lot of things came up, a lot of opportunities. So it's
Lord of the Rings was on, right? Opportunity as fuck.
Lord of the Ring, dude. I saw that shit and I was like, God damn, I want to kill some orcs. So, yeah, hell yeah, dude. Fuck, it's fun.
It is a good game, yeah.
Shout out to Stick Figure as well, by the way.
Yeah, so yeah, everybody in the chat, thank you guys for coming. It's awesome. I had like a lot of good fun. Kid Smooth, you're awesome. Nuve, Wilmy, everybody in here. Dealer's a fraud, and I'm glad Rand didn't show up. He would have stunken up the place. Chat, you're awesome.
Jesus.
Thank you.
How do you know what Rand smells like?
Never mind.
No, Rand's a gentleman. You leave him alone.
Rand's the best.
I think I got everybody right.
Nope.
Colt Eastwood.
You left out.
Colt-
Naughty dog.
Colt, oh, sorry.
of
Sorry.
YouTube.
I thought that Colt died. I wasn't going to ask him if where he lived or anything, if he was dead.
I've
But
been sitting here laughing at all soccer's grade A classic awesome jokes.
all right, Colt. Besides awesome videos and being a fucking great person and a nice guy, what have you been up to? What have you been playing? Where can people find you? Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. I've been playing the crap out of Witcher 3. I played it at launch on PC and deleted my save on accident, so it took a lot to go back to it. And it's funny because everyone's like, "Oh, it's in Game Pass." I mean, I've owned it on Xbox for 2 years. So yeah, I'm like 60, 70 hours into it. I'm only level 22. I'm in Skellige. Like it's awesome.
Hey,
It's really good.
It is a good game.
it's a great game.
It's one of the very few real RPGs this generation. I know we've had lots of action RPGs, and we've had some. I mean, this is like the RPG.
Of course,
Yeah,
I've been
it's great.
I've been saying that for years, Colt. It's almost
Yeah,
like,
but I never listened to you.
oh man.
It's not that good. It's not that good. Relax.
I mean, I'm just saying, like,
I'm
it is factually. I mean, I'm sorry, it's just Witcher 3 is the benchmark. So, it's
And
great.
I mean, playing it at 60, I don't know. It's just such a colorful, great game
You're like
on the Xbox One X.
60-ish, you know.
Yeah,
As long as you're not near like any buildings, you're good.
Yeah.
Does
that
Stadia
game
have it?
plays pretty well.
The Stadia have it.
D-Batch tuned out. He's like, I'm out. I don't know what Stadia has anymore.
Stadia,
Where can we-
Stadia is hurting bad, man. It's hurting bad.
Predictable.
But yeah,
where
we-
you been?
the
Where
other
can people
night-
find you, Colt?
You can find me at Colt Eastwood on Twitter, Xbox Live, and YouTube. And
What about Stadia?
no, I don't think so. But we had
Colt
that.
Eastwood too.
We had that 10 plus people in an Xbox chat on a Saturday night, and we just laughed our heads off. And had such a good time. And I would hope that opportunity would come up more often. A bunch of us to get together.
It's hard enough
I
for
had,
us to line up and be able to get on and all play, like,
Dude,
you know.
for
Yeah, I
fucking
mean, I
real.
just hope it kind of lines up again. In the near right now, like you just don't know what people are like till you get to talk to them in a game. And we just had such a great time. So it was cool. I was really glad that I had that opportunity. So,
Oh, Rand was in that
yeah,
party
thanks
too.
for
Yeah,
having me on my show.
yeah, no problem. Rand came in that party too. Yeah, that's the other person I
yeah.
forgot.
Yeah, Rand was like in the background.
Same with Lethal Papa, right?
Lethal was he?
Well, we
Was
had a couple people in and out of the party. Like we were on for 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah,
It was-
I'm in a party with Lethal like every time I'm in a party almost. So shout out to Lethal Pop as well. Shout out to the moderators of the channel, Obi-Wan out there. Shoguns, thank you so much. Great show, guys. He says thank you. We've also got Maddie 1221 says greatest Xbox podcast in the world. Thank you. Oh, it says land technically. So thank you. Whatever land you may be on, we appreciate it. Deviator X, all the channel members, everybody who has a green name and a cool Xbox badge, Jedi, Immortal Jedi in the chat as well. Shout out to you guys. Again, A Squad, Adam. I want to give a little bit of a shout out here because these guys support so much and it's not always easy to say these things. So Game Bread, shout out to you, brother. He's always talking in the Discord. Channel members, if you want to join our Discord, just go to the community section, and if you're a channel member to be there, you can join our Discord and stuff like that. And I like to keep the numbers kind of low because I want to be engaged as much as possible. And I need to do a better job on Discord because I'm new to it. But I want to keep that number kind of lower so I can engage with the people that actually are there and engaging, right? If that makes sense. So instead of having thousands of people in there, I can kind of talk to the people that are always here rocking out with us. So we do appreciate it. Again, I think I got everybody's outro. Shout out to everybody who joined us. Awesome panel. Tim Dog will be back next week. We're going to have some great guests over the coming months. And we hope to keep informing you guys. Thanks for showing up. 1,500 people tonight. Hit that like button if you haven't. And of course, check out the links down below. Game giveaway post going up on Patreon right after this post. Probably in the next hour. I'll probably have to spend an hour setting everything up and the thumbnails, stuff, and all that crap. But after that, I'll be posting on Patreon. I might get to it sooner. And shout out to all the patrons if you want to do that. That is in the link down below as well. So thank you guys for what you do. We're heading out.
Did you write all that shit down?
Colt's got a mighty fine
Just like my
butt ass.
videos, it's all off the top of my head, Wilmy. I signed out twice.